Off yesterday. It's these questions, and it's Rosalia, or no, Mikos, who was answering things, and Mikos is from um, a place called Pythagoras, um, over in the Aegean Sea. So underneath the Aegean Sea is this city underneath, inside the earth, and Mikos is from Protagoras in the Aegean Sea, and him and other beings are sharing knowledge. So I think yesterday Rosalia was sharing some stuff, like it flips back and forth to different beings that are trying to help and connect with you, because some of you will recognize these, and some of them you'll just know and understand, and you'll feel these beings connected. As I read in that, you allow them to come in because they know, they see the truth, they know everything. And in the fifth dimension, you can't hide, you can't deceive, you can't, whatever it is, they see everything. Like I always say, I got lots and lots of angels and spirits around me watching all the time. So anybody does things wrong to me, it's their job to take care of it. I just carry on doing the things I need to. And everybody has their angels that watch over and protect them. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But people get into mirrors, people get into all kinds of things, and then they wonder why they can't heal, change, and grow. And you'll use mirrors because a lot of people who use mirrors I've met over the years, they actually go in other people's energy and that, and they're really afraid that somebody's going to send bad things at them or use the evil eye or whatever. So they're always with a mirror, they're just reflecting everything back at everyone. And that can be really, really harmful because, first of all, you're not learning anything. And if you got Archangel Michael standing there with a big sword flaming, then he's threatening everybody and you're not learning. So why would a universal being stand around with a flaming sword or swing it around and scare people? So when you have the right knowledge, you stop fearing. And that's the whole idea of gaining knowledge and then understanding how to do everything in a balanced, correct way. And this is where I don't do protection. I have no reasons to do that. And people want to look and see things. The universe will show people all kinds of stuff. I don't worry about it because I can ask to see everything about them. And one thing, if somebody's going inside you in your mind and that, and you know it, ask to see everything about them. You're going to see everything. You're going to know everything. And this is like the universe does things for a reason. And you want to learn and grow. You don't want to stay stuck in the same thing. So I'm going to start reading this book and what Mikos is saying here. He says, "Can you tell us about the weather people? Your day reflects the level of conscious prevalent on the earth. The day reflects the quotient of light carried in the mass consciousness. This quotient determines how you feel. Some days you feel glorious. Some days you feel the lower energies that are prevalent. It just reflects the balance of which way the pendulum tips. But our days here are always glorious because we maintain a very high light quotient. All our bodies are always in perfect balance, which is reflected out to the weather people, then mirror back the weather people, those elements who determine our weather based upon our feelings and our thoughts. And that's where some people can shift weather. Some people can tune into these intelligent energies and they can shift and change and make things. And this is where a lot of people hear about medicine men and shamans. You know, if there's a fire and they say pray for rain, it rains and puts a fire out. And these people, they know how to connect with these elements, and these elements respond and do things. And it is an intelligence that's very, very ancient. Do you remember how on some beautiful sunny days you were feeling sad about something, and how this this clouded the beauty of the day and you couldn't see it or enjoy the sunny rays? Well, It is the same with everyone. If thoughts and feelings are immersed in sadness, then you cannot feel the joy around you. And if most humans are immersed in sadness, then your day on earth becomes sad and gloomy and overcast by clouds. These are the elements just reflecting back to you what you are projecting out to them. For everything is a current and travels around like a wheel, pulling everything along with it. Keeping this in mind and monitoring your thoughts and feelings will help free up the earth plane from its gloomy outcasts so that the sunlight, this is always there, can shine through to you. So the sunlight can always shine through to you, but most people never are aware of it. Sunlight and joy are always there no matter where you are located. It is just when you are covered in gloom that these rays cannot penetrate you. So no matter what that occurs, stretch yourself, stretch your mind, stretch your feelings through to the higher frequencies of joy and think beyond what is occurring on the surface. Think beyond to the galaxy, to the star systems, to us inside the earth, and dream and dream and dream for the dream that you hold in your energy field that goes out to the ethers and infuses the mass conscious with joy. We all wait for you at the gates of eternity, which is what we call our domain, for our land is as eternal as we are, as long as we maintain our balance and frequency of love. If you lose your balance, you fall. The same with immortality. To sustain your immortality, we must stay emotionally balanced at all times and keep our heads in the clouds, dreaming our dreams of eternity. For it is the dream that sustains us. And that's why I say if you want to grow and learn, you have to live long periods of life. Like I say, I'm going to be 250 years old or older. So this is something I believe and told people for years. And I said, I'll get to 250 and see if I want to be here longer. But I think I'm going to be here way longer than that. And there's lots to learn. There's lots to do. There's lots to grow and expand. And it's just only about you. It's not about anybody else. It's not about gifts and abilities and things like that. It's only about your own evolution. But a lot of people, they get stuck in gifts, abilities, and all kinds of things, and they hear this person has this ability, that ability, and they chase it. I've never chased any abilities. I've never tried to do anything. It's like the universe came in, did all kinds of things, and I'm like, oh. And it changed me because of death experiences, because of all kinds of stuff I went through. And these things were given to me by the universe, and I only use them when I need to. I don't go out of my way trying to find or force myself to create or activate a gift. I may never need it, so why am I going to even put my energy and waste my time with that? We are now by the lake near the library in Protagoras, where the water is rippling, the sun is shining, and the breeze is flowing soft currents of energy. Around us, the air is fragrant with flowers, and we are immersed in beauty. We send this beauty to you and hope you can feel our connectedness. For there is no separation. Our thoughts are one, and that's where with our minds, with telekinesis and everything, with the veils lifting, we are connecting with higher and higher beings, and they're trying to help us, and they're trying to teach us. A lot of people are not wanting to learn and listen and work with them. What is in the eye of the hurricane? All elements are composed of elements who are alive with consciousness, including the consciousness in the eye of the hurricane. The spirit of the hurricane is located in the eye, and it can communicate with its spirit and send its love to diminish its intensity and change its direction. You can work with all nature and all natural disasters like tornadoes, earthquakes, flooding, eruptions, disruptions of all kinds. Nature is just waiting for your contact and connection and waiting to have you work with her to bring balance and harmony to the earth so it can supply you with the abundance and perfect weather as it once did in a long distance past. All nature waits for your acknowledgement. and heart connection to begin the process of rehabilitating and renovating the Earth's ecology and biology systems into divine perfection once again. There are no hurricanes inside the Earth because we exist in a peaceful state of oneness and connectiveness with the elements. We all work together in cooperation as one. And then it says, endless days. Greetings from Telos. We stand beside you as you type these words. So they're talking about the woman who's channeling this. But as I'm reading it, these spirits will come in, and this energy and everything, it belongs to all of you. In your time, it is snowing, but in ours, it's warm and sunny. Soon the weather conditions will be drastically changed on the surface so that all your days will be like our days, perfect. Know when this happens, what will the populace talk about? Know your favorite topics is the weather. Well, won't you be surprised? There will be so many surface changes that you'll never run out of topics to talk to your neighbors or postmen about. Everything will be a topic of conversation. Everything will be so new, it will light up your eyes and put smiles on your faces, and I hope in your hearts, for at last you will all see and feel the Creator's love being physically manifested for humanity in tangible forms. How excited we are for you all, and how excited we are for ourselves, for with this happening we will also be given the divine signal to emerge. Yes, we are ready. We are all packed, as you would say, and ready for the trip up. Our hearts are brimming with such love for you all. And soon we will be able to display our love for you by bringing you all our technology to clean your pollution and heal your beautiful bodies. Our love for you has no boundaries, and soon you will learn to live unconditionally and profoundly as we do. Love is all there is, and it too is a free commodity and the best investment you can make in this lifetime. That's where you got to learn to love yourself. And that's what it really, because when you leave this planet, you're going to be alone. And you're going to reincarnate and you're going to do all kinds of things. Because your oversoul, your higher self, loves you and it keeps wanting you to grow and evolve. And everything is about evolution. So this is where you got to really, really understand and let go. And you have to open up your heart and your heart chakra. You're going to have to open up your higher heart. If you got that closed, then you're not connecting to all of those things. And now we would like to talk to you about a time frames for change, time frames for travel, time frames for healing yourself. All time is non-existent. Yes, it is correct. It doesn't exist. It only exists in your third dimensional world so that you can learn your lessons in some kind of progressive order to keep track of your progress to see how far you have come. But on other worlds of higher dimensions, there's no time. Everything spins around in a circular fashion, thereby occurring simultaneously. But here you need this linear way of seeing events in your world unfold. So our beloved, don't be surprised by the way time is seemingly speeding up. It appears to be speeding up because your consciousness is expanding. As your consciousness expands, your perceptual vision and awareness expands, taking in more of what exists around you on higher planes of thought and feeling. Thus time appears to speed up because you are taking in so much more that your day just seems to race by. As soon as you will dispense with your calendar, and instead of counting the days, you will count the weeks, then the months, then you will stop counting completely, because you'll be living in an unaccountable time frame, noted by cosmic events and using your cosmic calendar. This is how you stay immortal. You don't count days, you don't count stars. And since there is an infinite amount of stars in the heavens, you'll soon give up and resign yourself to the fact that you are immortal beings and nothing with nothing to count. Only endless days to live and grow and love and evolve in the image of the Creator. My, what a relief this will be for you. Don't you agree? No more counting, no more racing to get things done on time. Just knowing that you have an eternity to complete your soul lessons in loving and peaceful environments, just the way we do in Telos. This is what life is about. It is a slow, easy, calm, rhythmic pace, allowing for change to happen gradually in a way that lifts you, your soul, in increments, so that every once in a while you stop and you reflect and say, my, how did I get to this place in my understanding? And that's what a lot of people are doing now. They're getting downloads and all kinds of stuff, and they're like, wow. But they never stop to question, well, my, how did I get to this place in my understanding? I wasn't even aware I was moving in this direction, and now I am suddenly here and have reached this plateau without any effects or strain. And a lot of people do that now. It's like, whoa, what just happened? Well, we can answer and say that it is just because there were no outward constraints to prevent it. When you are part of the environment, all moves together. You don't notice the movement because you are in the flow. This is how involvement takes place. No strain, no stress, just being in the oneness with the flow. Its coming attraction is soon to come to the surface. It is making its preview now. Do stay in the movie. It will be the best yet. I am Rosalia with Adam at my side. Now the flower people from the hollow earth. So now the flowers are going to communicate and channel to people. And like I say, in the natives, we say the flower people, the standing people, the rock people, the feather people, the winged people, the furry feather people, even the water people, the rock people. Like in my prayer, I talk about all these people because they're energies and they're alive, they're intelligent, and they all have something to teach and help. Yeah, lots of people thought they lost TikTok in the States. I told you it was going to come back on, but a lot of people got really paranoid. Hey, Chris. Hey, soul to soul. Yeah, I post some of your posts of some of the psychics at the fair in April. I start posting and sharing those on my wall so people will become aware of it. So the flower people from the hollow earth. Greetings, we are the hollow earth entourage talking to you today. Yes, Mikos is prominent among us as he is your main connection to this telepathic transmission. So we are here to talk about the flowers and how they bloom so beautifully and so abundantly in the spring. They lift their heads and turn their face towards the sun, and lo and behold, their magnificent bodies emerge from the dirt, and you see their full beauty and smell their deep fragrance. There is magic. They are magic, aren't they? They have a message for surface folks now. Dearest people of the earth, we are the flower people from Cathera, here to guide you also, to bring you the fragrant scent and the smell of the heaven worlds through our delicate and beautiful shaped bodies of light. For we are the light also, although your five senses do not yet detect our vibration. And the shamans and the medicine men, the witches and things in the ancient times, the healers, were always connected to the flowers, the plants, the roots, the berries, everything. And they're connected to everything in creation. My granddad was the same way. He would just say a prayer and he would connect with things really, really easily. And this is where we're all moving to now. We're all going to connect to these things. Everybody is going to have this ability. Hey, Danny Spoons. Dearest people on earth, we are the flower people from Cathera, here to guide you also and bring you the fragrant scent of the smells of the heaven worlds through our delicate and beautiful shaped bodies of light. For we are light also, although your five senses do not yet detect our vibration. We flow our light to you in currents of waves when you kneel beside us and you smell the fragrant petals, or you touch our stems. This is especially so in the hollow earth where people are connected to us in their full consciousness. So you will be too, and then we can converse and play together. Yes, we love to play, and we do this easily. Even though we cannot move around, our laughter and our voices can be heard everywhere you are in your vicinity. And we can play in our thoughts and in visions and sing to all of those around us. If you listen deeply, you can hear our song and sing along with us. We invite you into our aura and into our lives. We were sent here by the spirit hierarchy to guide you into your ascension, to bring you the beauty of heaven, for you connect with our beauty. You connect to heaven. It is one and the same. For beauty is who you are, and we are here to remind you of this truth. We send our love out to you on the petals of springtime, the aroma wafting through the airs. Catch them and connect with us. We wait for your visit, for we are the flower people from deep inside the earth. I knew a person in the past who, when somebody would start up their lawnmower, they'd start hearing the grass scream because they knew they were going to be cut, and she would just freak out. Especially when she was a child, she would really tune in with the plant kingdom, and it would just spin her out. Even when people would pull a flower or anything, she'd just hear them screaming. And it took her a long time to realize she was the only one doing that. Everybody thought she was insane, and she would scream and yell at people. And this is where, like, we have all these abilities, but we shut them all off. Now the universe is trying to move us into this higher existence where we are connected to everything. We'll never harm anything, and we'll learn how to live in harmony and do all kinds of really amazing things. Putting crystals in water. We store our water in crystal tubes with crystal linings infused with crystals, and you can do the same. Just put a crystal in your water and let it sit overnight. It will charge your body with electrical currents and open blocked meridians. It will clear energy blockages on the etheric level so that your electrical current flows unimpeded around and through you. Clean and clear your crystals first and infuse it with divine love. Rubies and sapphires will do the same thing. Put crystals in your bathtub and soak up the crystal light energy. It is perpetual springtime in the hollow earth, and we just finished our morning tea when you stirred from your sleep. So we decided to flow our thoughts through to you on the current of telepathy. Our landscape is grand vision of immortality, for everything you see, it's always in perpetual bloom and vigor, as are those who dwell here. If you can see our landscapes, you would feel yourselves rising the pulse with the vibrancy of immortality. We say adieu as we enter the library of Pythagoras for the day of bliss. Thank you for the excitement of taking our message. I am Mikos, and my friends surround and hold the energy for you as you take this message. Next question, what are your days like? Today we will talk about ourselves and how blessed we are to have remained inside the earth. Although you think that our lives are easy, which they certainly are, we have many responsibilities, many duties to perform each and every day. The foremost of which is to connect with the higher self for guidance for the day. We plan our day thoroughly so that we can complete our duties and still have time left over for relaxation and fun. Our days are filled with laughter no matter what we do, and we are always surrounded by our family and friends. For as we have said, there are no strangers here. We understand the concept of oneness. We practice it in everything we do. For example, We are doing our work in whatever area it is. We rely on each other and help each other by working in unison to complete the task, to complete it perfectly. We don't skip details to finish quickly, as some people on the surface do, because have our lives invested in the outcome. We know the importance of doing everything well, for we all depend on the quality of what we produce. Nothing here breaks down or becomes obsolete as it does above the ground. So we don't have to keep replacing things. This is why we have so much free time here, because we don't have to keep reproducing the same things over and over again, because nothing breaks down. Most everything lasts hundreds, if not thousands of years. This also accounts for our not having any landfills in Telos, because there is no waste produced. All our byproducts are recycled and reused, and if there are any ingredients left over that we cannot use, we just dematerialize them. Voila, they are gone. So this frees up all our land space for living space, parks, and streams. And of course, we have no roadways, just paths to walk on, our vehicles that levitate and take us wherever we direct them to take us. We fly with our minds, using our thoughts as our directional compass. Our vehicles are small from inner city travel, and we just talk to them and tell them where our destination is, and we hold that thought and vision until we are there. And that's where people are gonna start levitating, and wherever you want to be. If you're levitating in the air and you think of being at the Great Pyramids, you will end up there because you will get drawn there like a magnet. And that's how you see stories about people flying on magic carpets, as they will put all their belongings on it, levitate the carpet and their belongings, and then they fly through the air and then land in places. And they know how to do this. And in the future, people will be able to do all kinds of things that's coming, and it's coming quicker and faster. It is all very simple, as you will someday see. Our cities is a fun place with many activities always going on. There are plays, musicals, everything you can think of, except for competitive sports. And when we have no more competition, that's when we're going to actually step into this higher fourth, fifth dimension energies. But people are competing. People are always in the 3D saying, oh, I'm going to be in the fifth. I'm like, no, you're not. Like I say, you got to support everybody. You got to bless everybody to be abundant and successful. And people don't do that. Wherever I go, people want to drain my energy. People want to block me, interfere. Why can't they just bless me that I'm successful and everything that belongs to me and Cindy comes to us? I bless everybody. Wherever I go, I bless everyone. And I ask for what's mine, and that's all I take. I don't take what doesn't belong to me. And I always want to see people receive what belongs to them. We don't compete here. We only cooperate in our athletics to have fun. Nothing is done to win, only to enjoy to its fullest. Our forests are rich in oxygen. We take daily walks in the woods to rejuvenate ourselves, just as you on the surface do. Our lifestyles are not different, except ours are free from stress and worry and filled with joy overbrimming. This help accounts for the long lives, for stress causes cells to decay, and depression accelerates the process. Even in our healing books today, they talk about the importance of laughter and merriment in combating disease and living longer lives. So our lives are not that much different from yours. We just learn how to live them fully, with no impediment. And now Mikos is here. Greetings from the city of Cathara, where my home is. I live in a small alcove nestled inside a small hill, surrounded by lush vegetation, flowers, bush, and tall trees. Actually, everything here is tall, including my body frame, which generally reaches 15 feet for most of our population. Telosians average 7 feet, and Adama is 7 feet 2 inches tall. I myself am a little over 15 feet tall, which is about half the height of your surface trees. We were all meant to be tall. Even the surface folks were once averaging 15 feet in height when the surface was protected from the sun's radiation by the firmament. Your sun is now changing and becoming magnetic. This will stop the declining of your height, and in time you will again begin to gain in height. You will notice how so many of your youth are taller than your own generation. We just wanted to give you a little clarity on this subject. As a little boy, my granddad said my culture, we were 15 feet or taller. He says nobody was, 7 feet was short, was like you were a midget. And he says we were really, really big, tall beings. And he used to tell me really lots of stories and stuff like that when I was a little boy. And like I say, when you go to these sacred places and there's going to be a guardian there, he's always usually about 15 feet tall. And he's going to ask you who you are before he lets you into these sacred places, because his job is to protect you. And this is where you see some children, like I saw a YouTube video not long ago, and there was this Chinese boy, he's a teenager, he's like 8 feet tall. And kids are getting really, really tall. And this is where you see on the planet, all these things are happening. Like children, they see the future, they don't see the past. But a lot of them believe they're having nightmares and they're not, because they don't understand what they're dreaming. And so they create fear around it. And you have to focus on the light. You got to teach the children to do that. Because if they focus on the negative and the dark, they attract it. And you have to teach them to train their brains to focus on the light. So every kind of angelic being, light, whatever comes around and protects them all. So, next question. What are the best materials to build houses with on the surface? Mikos is here along with Adam and others from the inner earth. We will attempt to answer your question. Know that in the hollow earth we live in caverns underneath the inner surface of the hollow cavity of earth. This way we don't disturb the land outside our caverns or on the inside of the inner surface. This is the most economical way to build a dwelling since it comes already built. The caverns were already in existence when we arrived here many eons ago. They were already in place and we just further hollowed them out and designed them to meet our living standards. The earthen cavern is also fuel efficient and holds in the heat. We are very creative in architectural design, our living space with materials from the earth herself without disturbing the earth in the least. We use mainly crystals, gemstones, lapis, gold, and other varied stones, along with technology-created materials from our furniture, the hemp for all our clothing and bedding. Aside from the caverns, we also have communities deeper underground, where there are small connective tunnels linking the communities together. We can travel back and forth in our vehicles and levitate a few inches above the ground. Most of our living takes place inside our communities around the underground, not on the outside ground. We would like to give you more help in designing your homes on the surface, but until you have our technology available to you, it would be difficult for you to get away from using wood. In the future, most communities will be built underground to leave the Earth's outer surface pristine so she can restore her great rainforests to produce the oxygen that is needed for balancing the ecosystem necessary for your plants, waterways, and other life forms to nourish. You will find that more you leave Mother Nature alone, the more resources she will be able to create and sustain, and the healthier the environment and more balanced the climate will be, and the more you will thrive in your bodies. So living inside caverns underground definitely has its advantage. And I was told this years ago by universal beings that we would move underground. And you can find in different parts of the world there are cities underground, and people lived under there. And they're discovering them all over the world. And we're going to go back to that. And we're going to let the earth heal herself. Nobody is healing the earth. Anything that's on the surface, she's going to break it all down and turn it back into organic matter and cleanse everything and purify it, because it's all her chemicals. She knows everything what to do to bless this world and turn it back into a beautiful Garden of Eden. And this is where people got to stop thinking they're saving the earth. People got to stop thinking they're saving the trees and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, leave those silly ideas alone. Start learning to ask the Earth Mother how to work with her, how to get into the future, how to help everybody. Stop thinking about yourself. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. Okay. When there is peace on the planet, we will bring you to all our technologies for building communities and houses in your already existing caverns and mountains and directly underground. There are already communities existing inside your mountains where the ascended masters visit and where other humans dwell who work on inventions and other projects right there on the surface, but unseen to surface dwellers. There are quite bustling communities inside mountain ranges if you could only see them, but the mountains obscure them from the third dimensional vision as a protection for those inside. And this is where you can be guided in and out of these places. And we're going to have more and more contact with this. And in certain mountain ranges, you can feel this high energy. And you become aware there's way more things there. Don't worry about making a living when you change your building technology over to ours, because by that time you won't need to make a living. All will be based on the barter system, and all will be free. It is your divine right to be able to have all your living needs met without a strain or having to work hard for it. Yes, you will work to build your homes and communities, but it will be more like fun instead of an 8-hour day you now put in your workplace for low wages. I mean, you're going to maybe work 4 hours. And that's what I was told in the 90s. People in the future will only work 4 hours. And I was downloaded all kinds of information. So right now we advise you to just wait for our emergence to surface. We will show you all you need to know to build toxic-free homes without toxic factories. All our technology is free. In the meantime, you can switch to hemp for all your clothing needs. You don't need to use fertilizers or chemicals in your soil. The sign of an evolved race is the growing of materials and foods organically, without a trace of chemical interference and no corporations to interfere. We know this does not completely answer your question, nor give you the information you requested, but we cannot give you the blueprint for the technology. We can only give you the technology themselves, already developed and ready for use when we arrive on the surface and show you how to use them, and assist you in designing your homes and communities based on our architecture inside the earth. I am Mikos, and we bid you a good day. So I'm going to read the next one, and I think I'm going to take a break. Cindy can come in. It's about 2.5 pages or so. And like I say, all of this stuff is there. The universe has had it there all along, but people believe that they're all doing all kinds of... The universe has been at this for billions of years. It knows everything it needs to do. These masters and teachers and ascended masters and gurus and everything, they learned this and they want to teach us. And when we start shifting through this photon belt and we start connecting to all these things and we bring our energies up into the higher places, we're going to get all of this knowledge and technology, and we won't use it wrong anymore. We're going to stop competing. We're going to stop trying to be greedy and take all the money from everything and everyone. We're going to stop wanting to teach our things to our children and that are not good. The children get very angry now because they're aware of the future and are trying to create and get together and manifest. So they get really angry at their parents, at teachers, and all kinds of things. Some of them you can't teach anything to. They know everything. You can't teach them math. You show it to them, they can teach you even more about math. And they're here to change this planet, and they are going to do this. And they don't look to the past. They only look at what they came here to do. And they have all kinds of gifts and abilities. So question, are you managing nature in the hollow earth, or do you leave it untouched? We always leave nature herself untouched, as she is the best doctor there is to solve her own problems without our interference. And this is what natives knew. They never interfered with Earth Mother or nature. She has all the innate knowledge within her DNA and can administer all the remedies her trees and plants and flowers need in perfect dosages. Like I say, she's the best chemist. She is the best scientist. She is best because she created all the bodies for trees, for humans, for fish, for whatever is evolving on her. She creates that for us all. And she has many kinds of dimensions. The Sasquatch, all kinds of other beings, fairies, you name it. She has everything. And she knows what she needs to do. And if everybody would get out of the way and just pray for her to do it, this world would transform way easier than what people are doing. Letting nature cure herself is the best remedy of all. We find that our trees and plants and flowers on the inner earth and in Telos are always in perfect health, perfect shape, perfect, glorious. We never tamper with what nature creates, and this is the secret. This is why you have so many problems growing your food, plants, trees on the surface, because you are continually interfering with nature's plan that has been perfected by the Creator in advance of your inhabiting the Earth's surface. Look how your soil has become depleted of nutrients. Your rainforest cut down, your air, your waterways polluted, all contributing to the disease and decay, your flora and fauna, including human life. When will you learn to honor and respect Mother Nature as she's the greatest goddess she truly is? She knows so much more than your doctors, your plant doctors, your animal doctors. She knows exactly what each life form needs for a healthy and happy life. She provides it all bountifully. On Sundays when I say, ask her to come into your home to help you. Whatever it is you need, you give her permission. You give the plant spirits permission, the animals. And I pray this on Sunday and I say, call in all the Earth Mother and her children and all these things to come in and teach and help you. And that is a part of my prayer that I do. And I created a video that's on TikTok that is my prayer, and you can listen to it and learn this prayer and understand what you're asking to come in, so it's going to change and help you. And I put this prayer out, I think it's on YouTube and it's on a few other things. Cindy was thinking, and we'll do another one, put it on Instagram. And sometimes the universe gets me to change a prayer a little bit to bring in different things for people. So I will sometimes take something out and add, or I will teach a little more on certain things. But the prayer it covers everything. It is a really, really powerful prayer if you meditate on it and you allow it to really, really help. But if you're trying to use it for the wrong reasons, it won't help you. She knows exactly what each life form needs for a healthy and happy life, and she provides it all bountifully. If you just leave her alone, she will rebuild herself faster than the wink of an eye. And you see even old roads, cement roads and asphalt, they stop using it. You go back there 5, 6, 7 years and it's getting covered with trees and willows and plants and everything. Like she just takes right over and just starts putting everything back the way she wants it. She knows exactly what life forms need for a healthy and happy life, and she provides it to all humanity. If you just leave her alone, she will rebuild herself faster than the wink of the eye. The health of all trees can be restored within your lifetime, which is very quick indeed, considering that it took millions of years to evolve into the glorious forest that it only recently once were. The trees themselves want to desperately stay alive and participate on the Earth's ascension plan, but it but isn't it strange that the surface folks never consider them as part of the Earth's life forms, nor ask their permission to cut them down? That's where natives, we always ask permission. We give tobacco, we talk to the plants. Even if I'm going to take a branch off a cedar tree, I talk to it and I ask permission and I give it things and I tell it everything about why I'm taking that branch. Then after I've done my prayers and I put my hand on the tree with a prayer, then I take what I need. I don't take anything more. Wherever I go, if I'm picking sage, if I'm picking juniper, anything, I will talk to the plants. I will talk to the Earth Mother. I'll talk to Creator. And that's what natives have done for thousands of years. They know that connection. They know that the Earth Mother hears and understands everything. All life forms are on the ascension path. Anything detrimental that we do to retard or destroy their lives puts a block on their ascension path. There's not any difference from the path humans take to ascend. We just all do it in a different body form and in a different way. Here in the inner earth, we consult with all life forms on all matter that concern the well-beings of us all. All life forms represented at our meetings. Our state of existence has been, is, and always will be peaceful. So you don't need tree doctors or doctors of anything. That's why I say in the future, there's no more doctors and nurses. We're getting rid of that. Hospitals and all that other shit. We're going to go back to the earth and she's going to fix us. Every last thing is going to get fixed. And start believing this. Bring all this energy, teachers, guides, everything in to start helping you to do this. Nature has its own inbuilt pharmacy. I got to do the puzzle. Okay. Nature has its own built-in pharmacy and knows when to dispense its remedies and act exactly how much to keep all of us in divine physical perfection. That's why I say talk to her. What do you need? What's going on with your body? When you're outside, talk to everything, trees, plants on your property and that, and tell them what's going on with your body. They will connect with you. When you're growing vegetables and everything in your garden, let them know. They will absorb everything to heal you. They're intelligent. They're really, really smart. All the herbs and plants are the healers. But yet we're so stupid we haven't figured that out. My granddad, he always, like anything he talked to, would show him and teach him and give him answers to anything. And he never tried to keep anything open. He just, when he needed it, he would do it. And then he just release it. And that's how you stay in harmony with everything. You don't try to keep your third eye wide open. You don't try to be astro traveling and flying everywhere and trying to be every kind of gifted thing on the planet. All you're doing is harming yourself. It is, okay, Mother Nature, okay, go back here. But of course we have to do our part and not pollute Mother Nature with chemtrails, chemicals, biological warfare, or fertilizers, so she can remain healthy and strong, as life is intended to be. It is just humans are destroying the perfection of Mother Earth, a divine being in herself. And I say this all the time, connect with her. Over and over and over I tell people this, talk to her. Talk out loud. She wants to hear you. She wants to know. She wants to love you. She wants to do everything for you. Divinity is always perfect. The divinity always stays perfect. This includes you, the human who lives on the surface. You are made in the Creator's image. You are made perfect. You are still perfection. If you could only see your divine blueprint that you came into the earth with and that you will carry in your DNA, it is only you yourself who have marred and changed and distorted the imbalance yourself, that your divine blueprint can no longer express the perfection you are as it is intended to do. And that's where every cell knows what to do. If you really, really believe in this, it will start changing. All kinds of stuff will happen. If you start really honoring the chakras and thinking you can boss them around and do things, they will do magic. And I always say, do not violate the Holy of Holies. If you don't know what you're doing to your chakras, don't mess with them. I don't care if you're a Reiki master or anything. These things are super conscious. They're very ancient and intelligent. And when you do things, be really respectful of it all, because there's a lot of things involved in everything. Your doctors are the worst offenders and culprits, prescribing drugs and chemicals that further interfere with your divine blueprint for perfection and drug your senses and jam your frequencies so that you are barely conscious anymore. And mostly sleep. Cindy, Leona's calling.
I don't know.
The phone is. Okay, so I'll go back again. So your body knows everything. It knows how to make you perfect. And if you would stop thinking and bossing it around and telling it what to do, it will heal and change you. It can spontaneously heal anything when you stop doing all kinds of things. But this world has made us believe lots of silliness. It is only you yourself who have marred and changed and distorted the imbalance yourself so that your divine blueprint can no longer express the perfection you are as it is intended to do. Your doctors are the most worstful offenders and culprits, prescribing drugs and chemicals. This is why you shouldn't let any children take any kind of drugs. Don't matter what the psychologists, doctors, anybody say. Do not do that. It's harmful and it's not good. Your doctors are the worst offenders, culprits, prescribing drugs, chemicals that further interfere with the divine blueprint for perfection. Drug your senses and jam your frequency so that you are barely conscious anymore and mostly asleep as you sleepwalk through your daily lives. And this is where people are smoking dope and taking mushrooms and everything, and they're asleep. Lots of people are asleep. They're just so, and they believe that they're connected to something amazing, but most people aren't. This is a great booming business for your doctors who are momentarily thriving on your sickness and promote it daily with their advertisements in your media. Big bonuses are given to your doctors for prescribing deadly medications. The pharmaceutical companies are thriving the most while you suffer the most, just to line their pockets with money as they proclaim their cures for the disease they create. Wake up, humans. It is your duty to revolt. Your great country, the United States of America, was created for a revolution, be crying injustice and tyranny, and that's where we're coming. That's what Donald Trump is going to trigger people to revolt. That's what Trudeau did. That's what's going to go on all around the world. Well, the same situation has developed again, and it is again a time of revolt to throw off the shackles of tyranny where corporations, governments of greed dominate the human people. The tree people suffer. Revolution is your birthright. You owe it to your country to revolt, to get rid of the tyranny in your governments, your corporations, your pharmaceuticals, and to live free of coercion, free of disease and pollution. Then all will thrive to divine physical perfection. We step back now and we thank you for your questions. I am Mikos. Question: do you eat only living food? with life force, or do you also heat for cooking? Our food is very delicate prepared, and it is all alive and freshly picked. We eat mostly fruit, vegetables, grains, our soy products, which we ferment out in the open air. We do cook some of our food, but our type of cooking is much different from yours because we don't use electricity, microwave skillets, or ovens or fires. We use technology that funnels heat into the food, causing it to only warm up without changing its molecular structure in any way. We have technology that warms without harming the life force, but most of our food we eat at room temperature. We are used to eating food at this temperature. And that's where you shouldn't be drinking cold things. You shouldn't be having slushies and slurpees and all kinds of stupid things. Your body's not meant to be a fridge. Freezing your stomach and your organs in your body. In summer, people go crazy for ice creams and cold things. I'm like, you're killing yourself. You're destroying your liver, your kidneys, and everything. But people, they sit around all day like, ooh, look at me with my frappuccino. You know? And I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with all of you? Like in China, they don't buy anything cold. They buy hot water. You go to a restaurant, you pay for a cup of hot water. You don't buy anything cold. Chinese practice this. They know the truth in it. Since it's always warm here in Telos in the hollow earth, we have no cravings for warm food. We prefer cool foods that have just been picked and prepared in salad variations. We don't do any baking here, at least not the kind you do on the surface. Yes, we do have baked goods, but they are baked in a different way, much like the food dryers you use to dry banana chips. We can make delicious cakes this way and still maintain their life force and keep their enzymes intact. And that's why some cultures did things to keep everything alive. Natives would dry fish and meat and everything. Understand that in colder regions of the earth, people needed warming foods, not just for their body temperature, but for the comforting effect. And yes, the life force is destroyed through electrical heat. This is yet another reason why your lifespans are so short, your energy levels so low compared to ours. It is because the way you prepare your food robs you of its life force. The giver of life, it is the force that gives you life, that gives your life the energy it needs to sustain you in any kind of physical climate and situation. And that's where everywhere on the world, every culture had its way to do things. But over the millennia, as the climate in many locations on the surface changed from temperature to cold, people eating habits and lifestyles changed to accommodate these colder climates, and hence people's lifespans decreased from hundreds of years down to 70 to 80 years now. There is a very definite connection between the amount of life force in your food, like there's no chi in food. The stamina in the body, the length of your year the body can live. It is the life force that keeps us alive. And the more life force we have, the more alive we are, and the livelier we feel. We thank you for this question. I am Adam. Next question. What is the difference between your trees and your plants? I am Mikos. We thank you for the question. Here in a hollow earth, we don't distinguish between trees, plants, and vegetables as they are all living entities, each with their own conscious carrying a life force. However, the plants and vegetables give themselves freely to us for our consumption, as long as we leave the plant intact, eat only its fruit, so that it can multiply and reproduce year after year. We don't pull the plants out after harvesting. We don't pull the plants out after harvesting its fruit as you do on the surface. You see, we have one long continual growing season, which is forever. Not like on the surface with your seasons, with the seasons after the plants and vegetables produce their crop. They are discarded and the seeds replanted for the next growing season. We don't do this in the hollow earth. We let the plants govern themselves, reproduce as much as they like without our interference. Mother Earth is the director, the governor of their growth cycle. Our plants give themselves to us freely, allowing us to eat the fruits of our harvest, because we never remove or kill the plant upon which the fruit or vegetable grows, because they are alive in consciousness and contain life forces intact. We are consuming the life force of the plant. It continues its existence in us. So, in effect, it's living on. It is the same with the trees. We eat their fruit but never cut down trees. Our trees are huge and magnificent and reproduce cycle after cycle, giving us the most abundant, succulent fruits. So our trees live on, and we live on by consuming the fruits and vegetables from them without disturbing them in the least. We do use crop rotation, which maintains the minerals, vitamins, and enzymes that go into the plant, as our earth is always rich in minerals and perfect for growing our crops. We do the least to the earth. The earth does the most herself. This is why we are so healthy, hardy, and strong. So there is no real difference between our trees and plants. We treat them each with the sacredness and honor their being. We talk to them, we thank them for their bounty. We then eat their fruits and vegetables. Our trees are just big plants, yielding more fruit than the smaller plants and vegetables. Our trees serve another purpose, that of producing the rich, clean oxygen we breathe and sheltering our landscape, while at the same time consuming carbon dioxide we exhale. They are sentient, standing vigilant, and maintain our environment. Our trees are great beings of light. Our plants and vegetables are like their children, reaching up to the sky, hoping someday to evolve into a tree. For all life evolves from lower to higher states of consciousness, just as we humans are evolving in consciousness. Just now that when just know that when we eat fruit and vegetables from the trees, our plants is their life force you need for your health, and this is where we've disconnected that. It is the life force you want, that this is what keeps you connected to the creator. When you eat dead, toxic food, you become just that, dead and toxic. And your life is shortened, and it becomes difficult to sustain your body. Then disease sets in. All our food is grown organically, obviously, which is another reason why we are so healthy and strong and can live hundreds of thousands of years in the same body. The less you tamper with Mother Nature, the more nutrient you receive in your food to eat. People are just beginning to realize this. It is why the organic food industry is growing so fast. It is hard to make a distinction between the plants and the trees, but the distinction is in the amount of consciousness each can hold. The tree can hold vast amounts of consciousness compared to a plant. The trees have an underground network that connect them all telepathically to one another on the planet. They have their own news service. They know what is happening on the earth before we do. They rapidly communicate to each other events that are about to happen on the planet. They have first-hand information. We often tap into their communication system so that we know what is about to occur on different locations of the surface. You too can tap into the system. Just plant your feet solidly on the ground next to the tree, put your hands on its trunk, and merge with its essence. As you question, they wait and listen. You will hear it speak to you. The trees have been waiting for eons to begin communicating with you again on the surface. It is their deepest desire. So bless the trees, bless the plants, bless the earth, for it is the fruits and vegetables, our harvest, that we consume, that become the material for building and maintaining our bodies. For we are literally made of the earth and are truly one, which is why we can communicate with them. Next question. Is there rain in the hollow earth or water? Is there rain in the hollow earth to water the plants and trees? Why, why are there droughts in some areas of the surface and flooding in areas? Adam and Mikos are here. We will answer this question. Yes, there is rain in the hollow earth and in Telos, but it is different, a sort of rain. It is a rain that does not fall but accumulates in the air to give a soft embracing effect, like dew that you find in the grasses on the surface in the early morning hours. The dew accumulates in the air and is constantly nourishing nature. There is no specific time that this happens, it just happens. Nature is able to draw the water it needs from the air when it's needed. Everything in the hollow earth interacts with everything else, so everything has its needs met. Water is drawn from our oceans, lakes, and streams. It is deposited very gently when and where it is needed. We also have irrigation ditches for our gardens and fields to convey water to the fruit and vegetables and grain. Our climate is very different from yours and keeps nature constantly refreshed and nourished rather than in bouts of drought and flooding. It is a self-regulating system designed by nature herself without our interference. The problem on the surface is that humans have interfered with the eternal guidance system of nature and thrown her off course so that she can no longer adjust herself to what the plants and trees need. She has been blocked from responding to them. You have built dams and impeded the flowing waters, changed nature courses of its flow. The water is alive. It knows where it is needed. It knows where to go. It's man's interference that blocks its natural instinct and block its communication with the land. Everything on the earth operates as a whole interconnected system when you start meddling with these parts. Water, you disconnect it from the whole and no longer has the input from the environment so that it cannot respond to the environment as it was meant to. In the old days, there was a firmament surrounding the whole earth, which as many miles up and made the crystalline ice particles which blocked the radiation of the sun. It kept the whole planet in a perfectly regulated greenhouse, which supplied just the right amount of oxygen and moisture for both nature and humans. When this was destroyed during the Atlantean times and Lemurian war, it also destroyed the self-regulating of nature. Nature now had to redefine itself and build another system to dispense water to the land. So clouds came into form to hold the moisture rising from the oceans and carry it to the land. This worked well until rivers and streams dried up, dams were created, and oceans became polluted, and the water lost its antenna and no longer read the environment around it. Water is consciousness, and to pollute on the surface has dulled its consciousness, so it cannot respond to nature, and its rainfall becomes haphazard in distribution, with no guidance as to where it is needed. This is why in some places we have an abundance of rainfall, in other places we have severe drought. The interconnection between the elements has broken and dulled by pollution and toxins and pollution of thought forms. And this is where so much negative thoughts all over that, like I say, it's really, really affected everything. Natives were always in tune with this all the time, but they're not even in tune. Most people that are native now, they're not connected to anything. They say it, they don't understand it. Every culture on the planet was that way. The Peruvians, everything, they were all connected. In the hollow earth, everything is still in pristine form and operates according to its divine blueprint when Earth was first formed. Everything here is totally interconnected and can read and respond to the environment around it. The cells of living things in the hollow earth have receptors that work perfectly, read the needs of the environment, then supply what the environment or bodies need in exact proportions. It is like a living pharmacy. We don't go to the store to buy what our bodies need. Nature automatically supplies it to us. We automatically receive it because we know that we are all one unit of life. The firmament on the surface will be restored, and then nature will operate in perfect divine harmony again, and so will the cells in your body. You won't need to go to the pharmacy for vitamins or medicine either, since nature will supply it all, as it was meant to. We hope we have we hope we have not digressed too much, but we just wanted to give you a bigger picture. Thank you for the question. Question: are there hydroponics in each community? We in the inner earth beings here at Mikos and Adam um, are here to answer questions. Know that there are many kinds of hydroponics on the inner earth, since there are many different inner earth civilizations residing here. Some hydroponic facilities are huge depending upon the society's population. Some are small depending on the community it serves. Hydroponics is a word designating water used to grow vegetables. We grow many and varied kinds depending upon the climate we live in and our bodies need. We grow everything according to our body's needs. We use instruments, very advanced instruments, to determine what our bodies need. Then we program them into the hydroponics to produce the vitamins, mineral content in the vegetables and fruits to meet our requirements for perfect health. Our hydroponic facilities are very old, and their blueprint was brought with us from Lemuria and other star systems. We also are able to access the information for developing our hydroponics from the records of the Library of Pythagoras, where we go whenever we desire to create or invent something from our community. Since all inventions that ever were are stored in Pythagoras, we don't have to be constantly reinventing the wheel, as you say on the surface, although we add to our inventions and make modifications to suit the personal needs and requirements of our people. There are hydroponics in each of our communities, since we couldn't survive without it. They are all geared specifically to the residents of that community, taking into consideration their physical, mental, and emotional needs to create perfect balance. When we harvest our nuts, fruits from big trees, we wait until the tree and the fruit is ripe and sometimes just pick it up from the ground. We never pick fruit that is not yet ripe, as you do on the surface. We don't use machines or robots as you picture them to be, but we do have apparatuses that can remove the nuts and fruit from our trees. We do use equipment though, but it is not of but it is of a different kind. We can use sound to loosen the nuts and fruits so that they fall to the ground for us. We have conveyor vehicles that then deliver our harvests, since we don't use cars or trucks for transport our goods as you do. Our conveyor vehicles don't touch the ground but levitate above it. We don't have to go deeper into the woods forest to find some nuts and trees, since they are close by. They are groves of nut trees, groves of fruit trees that we have planted. There are people who maintain these groves and see to it that they arrive in the distribution centers when they are ripened. Our distribution centers are where all our goods and food are brought. The people go there daily to pick up their daily supply of food. Of course, they don't have to pay for it, for everyone is freely given food, clothing, and goods. All necess- all necessities are provided freely. We also have a barter system that exists for purchasing art crafts that we individually create, so no money is ever exchanged. Money just doesn't exist here. There is so much to explain about our way of growing our food that you would have to see it to believe it. Question: what animals are inside the earth? There are animals inside the earth who are now extinct on the surface. And yes, by changing their diets from one of animal-based to plant-based, it eradicates the fear instinct in them, so they are as docile as dogs and cats. The names of the animals are presently not in the data bank of the channel, so we cannot give you their precise names. But just know that animals that are in the inner earth, which include Telos and the hollow earth, are animals that were once on the surface. Some were brought inside our domain by us, others chose to incarnate here. Many have now chosen to leave the planet to return to their home planets where they came from, such as whales and dolphins, who are now choosing to return to their home planet in Sirius. Knowing their names is not important. What is important to know is that all animals have consciousness and are also in a state of evolving just as you are. They have just chosen to embody in different shapes and physicality for this experience of evolving their consciousness. All is in a state of evolution, no matter its shape or form or what it composes of, including flowers, trees, and rocks. That's why I say in natives, we call them people all the time, everything. Like I picked out some rocks yesterday. This is a really, really beautiful amber, and it has a really nice reddish color. Here is a tourmaline quartz, and it's a watermelon. It's got all the colors like a watermelon. Here's another little piece of that tourmaline quartz. And this one is hawk's eye. It's got a really beautiful blue line in it. There's tiger's eye, there's cat's eye, and there's hawk's eye. And this is and like I say, when I touch these, I always ask for permission. And the rocks will do things. I don't force them to do anything. When I ask them to be blessed by Creator, and the rocks, they absorb energies and they want to help people when I bless and give them to people. And sometimes I'm told to carry pockets full of rocks, so wherever I go, I give out rocks. So I'm going to read this next part, then I'm going to stop reading. Next question. How do we overcome environmental destruction? I am Mikos. I will answer your question. Know the earth is a living entity and her environment is alive. The elements of your earth, wind, water, and fire have consciousness. That's why I say ask to connect to it all. These elements are called elementals. They are alive in consciousness. The earth is imbued with divine characteristics of harmony, balance, sensitivity, and love. The problem on the surface is that people themselves have not developed these qualities in themselves, and therefore cannot see it in others nor in the living earth. Because we don't create love, we got to suck it out of everything. Wherever we go, we got to pull the love and the life force out of everything. We go into the forest and we try to pull everything out of the trees and everything, instead of just sending love out everywhere, into the universe, into the earth, into every dimension, and to whoever is a part of our life. Like when I'm sitting here, this energy goes out to all of you. I don't do it, the universe does, because it belongs to you. I have what I need, Cindy has what she needs, and whatever that is there, the rest goes out to you, and the universe knows what that is. Once humanity's conscious reach a higher state, they will be aware of all the living things, such as the earth, mountains, water, and trees, and will be able to see these as living beings clothed in different forms. Once people become more aware, more attuned to the earth herself, they will identify with her and know that the earth and humanity are one. And once the oneness is acknowledged, people will revere the earth as sacred, and the environmental destruction will end. So it is not really how to overcome environmental destruction, but rather how to raise humanity's conscious so that people can see that to destroy the environment is same as destroying themselves. It is their awareness that will end the destruction, not any technology. Although technology devices will surely help undo the damage that has already been done. Here in the Hollow Earth and in Telos, we already know who we are, and we know that we are the same as the Earth, and that there are no differences, only difference in the forms we have taken in this lifetime. Because our awareness is heightened, our consciousness is all encompassing. We can see beyond the five senses. We can see the life forces emanating from the earth, in the trees, and in the flowers. So we know beyond a doubt that all matters, all elements on the earth, including the earth, are alive. Therefore, we would never harm another life form, including the trees, or mine minerals from the earth's body, because her body is no different from ours. By removing minerals from her body, we unbalance her, and this causes distortion and destruction from within her, thus resulting in volcanoes, earthquakes, and floods. In her endeavor to balance herself from what has been taken from her. Her minerals are her body parts, just like our organs are our body parts. If they are removed from us, our balance is destroyed and our body has to work harder to make up for the missing parts, and disease and death follow. This is what is happening to our earth. She is trying to rebalance herself from the plunder of her riches from her body, which are ore, gold, silver, uranium, and other precious metals that are being mined from her body. This is causing her great contractions, great imbalance. She is trying to regain balance through intense earth movements, resulting in upheavals of landforms and destruction of cities, and that's going to happen. So the answer lies in us, not the earth. The earth is only responding to our not recognizing her as a living, conscious entity. Should we not wake up in time and not wake up to her sacredness and divinity, she will throw us off her in one great upheaval. Right now, she's trying to keep the weather anomalies and the disruptions from harming large populations. But as we continue to destroy her forests, pollute her oceans, fill her atmosphere with toxins, it becomes harder and harder for her to hold back the forces building up inside of her. She is having difficulty breathing, and so are we. We are polluting the very air we breathe. So we don't have to do anything to the earth to overcome environmental destruction. We have to change ourselves, and then the earth climate and environment will follow. Remember, the earth is just a mirror of our thoughts, words, and actions. Destroying the planet we live on, the planet that is our home, is insanity. Where does humanity expect to plant their feet if they continue to destroy their home? This planet is our home, and to purposely destroy it is madness. To purposely kill others, who in reality are ourselves in different bodies, is also the result and lack of awareness of the connectiveness of the life on earth. Here in the hollow earth, we are aware of the connectiveness of life and therefore honor all life forms in existence. We would never cut down a tree or cover the ground with asphalt because we know the earth is a living, breathing entity and her body needs to breathe just as ours. Energy is pouring into the earth plane in astronomical amounts now. People are waking up by the millions. They are waking up to the divinity of the life and are beginning to see and sense beyond their physical five senses: taste, touch, smell, hearing, and seeing. They are becoming aware of the forces that exist in higher states of consciousness, and this alone will save the earth. When the critical mass of people worldwide reach this higher state of awareness, everything will suddenly wake up and the destruction will stop. We overcome environmental destruction not through the environment, but through ourselves. In the hollow earth and other subterranean cities alike, we learned this a long time ago. So I'm going to leave there, and I have 20 pages to read tomorrow. This question is, how were life forms brought to Earth? So this is where things started coming to the planet. And you're going back millions and millions of years. You're going way back because the Earth is billions of years old. This is a monumental question to the earth. This is a monumental question, and the earth is a monumental being, endowed with her own creativity within her. She is capable of producing everything that all life forms within and upon her need for their sustenance and nourishment and growth. She is a magical being and can make anything that is necessary for her life forms. The earth is ancient, and the ways of creating planets and entities that live upon her are ancient. There's nothing unusual about creation. It follows well-known laws that all ascended beings are endowed with and can perform. All substance is made from light, 100% pure light substance that can create anything and everything at a flick of the thought. Which is why we say to you to be aware of each and every thought and feeling, because this is the substance of creation. Hey, Miranda, good to see you on TikTok. And we still got our Instagram live for people. So this is where it's like become conscious. People don't pay attention to their thoughts and that, and they just sort of ride this invisible stream with their thoughts, and they don't realize they can create and change and do things. But back to your question about how life forms were brought to the earth. In the beginning of time, which has no beginning, life forms were created by the creator of this universe and evolved into many different forms and many different varieties containing many different levels of light and different levels of understanding. These in turn went on to create for themselves other aspects or spin-offs, which in time did the same thing. Just as parents have children and children have children, and some of the children evolve into great beings of light and understanding, some don't. Depending on their ambition and desire, some evolve into great masters who can create planets. Some just enjoy being still and being in the inness without doing much of anything. Those who have evolved themselves created planets and populate these planets and transport these life forms to other planets. So in the case of Earth, some of the life forms were indigenous to the Earth, and others were brought here from other planetary systems to grow and evolve and to experience life in the physical form. Most of these beings came here wanted to experience of living in density, living in different bodies. Remember, the Earth is an experiment. It is a place where different kinds of consciousness can embody and experience the Earth in a physical form where they can use the body's physical senses to give them pleasure. However, they never thought they would become trapped here, and that the body, if misused, would also give them pain. So once they were here in the body, they further experimented with the forms just the way the scientists today experiment with DNA and genetic engineering of humans and animals and food and plants. It is no different. Beings from all over the universe were seeing what was happening on Earth, and they came here to experience physicality. Some of these created havoc and chaos and were not of light. Their makeup was mainly of dark energy. These dark energies have slowly taken over everything on the Earth, especially your government. Notice the decay of your planet's ecosystem as a result of the dark entities controlling the corporations, who now control the politicians. These dark entities from other star systems now have infiltrated every system of the planet, creating the religious wars and polarization. And that's what it is. It's like it's religious wars. They use the Bible and everything to do all of this stuff and keep us stuck in fear. Really, really interesting. So Earth, so the dark entities from other star systems now have infiltrated every system of the planet, creating religious wars and polarization. So the Earth started out with simple life forms, and then others came from other star systems, some of whom were of light, some of whom were dark energies. Many of these dark energies have now turned to light, but there are still many who are clinging to their greed to control the Earth and enslave the people. The people inside the Earth came here from other solar systems and galaxies and found the inside of the Earth so pure and so pristine and so secluded that they chose to dwell there in privacy and freedom from the surface. They created the ecosystem that sustained them inside the Earth. As explained in previous messages in a series of books, ecosystems are easy to create. If you understand the universal law and you work with the nature spirits and devas, you can create incredible, healthy ecosystems that provide you with all you could ever need and desire. This is what the inner earth inhabitants did and are still doing. They maintain the system perfectly using their hearts and minds and understanding the life force that exists in all that is, and calling in this life force and harnessing it to create abundance in all forms. Some simple life forms evolved out of the substance of Earth herself as she was forming. The Earth herself called in life forms and invited them to live here, and some came uninvited and brought darkness with them. Remember, everything in the universe is an experiment, including the human body. The human body is the most ingenious and magnificent form there is, and your body is capable of doing extraordinary things like biolocating, levitating, instantaneously traveling to other locations in a nanosecond, conversing with nature elements and angels and ascended masters, and seeing right into the center of Earth. Yes, your body has these capabilities built right into it, which is what the dark entities have been after. They're trying to understand how your bodies function and duplicate them so they can learn how to have these abilities themselves. This is the reason behind the abductions, to see how your bodies work so they can then transfer and build themselves capabilities into their own forms. But they cannot do this, and hence they are trying to suppress your capability because they don't want you to know who you are and what your body can actually do. So they program you through the mass media into thinking you are nothing and that you are needy and that you are victims and sinners, so you don't discover all that you really are endowed with. They try to keep you asleep. They have succeeded in a mass scale. So everybody is choosing to be asleep. They want to wake up. They want to be responsible. I've been trying to wake up all my life. So wake up now and know that you are magical beings and you can do what we can do. We can see with our eyes out into the galaxy, and we can see you standing on the surface of the planet. And when you learn to use your X-ray or long distance vision, you can see us standing in Telos in the hollow earth. It is easy. You have these built-in capabilities just waiting to be turned on. And that's where I'm like, you got to find that switch inside yourself. You got to believe in this because it's real. And when you understand it, it's easy to do. It's like in levitation, there's something in your brain. And if you know where that is and what it is, you can turn it off and you'll just float. You'll float right up. But as soon as you turn it back on, it'll pull you down. And there's a lot of things. And we're going to start doing this. We're going to start shifting and changing. And we're going to turn all these things back on as we move into the future. And all these old ways of believing and warring and fighting and all kinds of silliness, we're not going to have any more to do with. And this earth is going to transform into something really amazing. And the children born on this earth, they know this. When they're little children, they talk about their lives and the future, and their parents blow it off as imagination. And they say stuff about what they're going to do when they're grown up and that. But the parents don't understand and don't support them. And they get caught up in all kinds of things that we in the third dimension do and believe. So this is where you got to change your mind. You got to change your beliefs. You got to deprogram your mind. And that's the hardest thing to do. I mean, The stuff I spent years and years and years trying to figure out, like I'm really curious about epigenetics because that's going to be something new soon, and it's going to, I think, be used by natives. It's going to heal all the generations of dysfunction and that. And then when you put it with the new neoscience and nuonics or whatever they call it, we're going to transform this planet, and the kids are going to do it really easy. They have telekinesis, they have all kinds of abilities, and they can do lots and lots of stuff, and they're not scared of it. They like looking at the future. They like seeing and knowing things. They don't fear it, whereas a lot of us do. We're all like old dinosaurs, you know. Why don't we want to transform and do something new? Yeah, there's way more to epigenetics. I spent years. I've been trying to learn that since the 90s because I really want to understand it. I want to see how to use this to heal 10 generations. I'd like to see my whole community healed. I'd like to see all my relatives and cultures all healed. And that's why I've spent my life trying to understand science and biology and study spirituality and knowledge and fifth dimensions and so many other kinds of things. And I try to share this knowledge and I try to teach. And like I say, I sat with lots of medicine men and that, and they shared things, and I had experiences in ceremonies and that, lots and lots of stuff. And like I say, when you understand all these books and that, and you connect with these higher beings, they won't give you anything you're gonna do something really really terrible with, because they know that's inside you. But there are people that, like they say, these dark forces are coming here, and they're trying to figure out how we have all of this, and they want to keep us asleep so they can have all of this power. And they fooled us, and people are really willing to stay in that and accept that. So this is why your corporations are destroying the planet. So this is where it's talking about the negative. I'll just go back a bit here. You can see us standing in Telos and all over Earth. It is easy. You have these built-in capabilities just waiting to be turned on. The dark entities are successful in turning you off to your built-in gifts. They turn off your circuits and stop the flow to disconnect you. They don't want you to know who you are because they want what you have, and they want to control and enslave you. This is why your corporations are destroying the planet's ecosystem and polluting the air and using electromagnetic radiation on you in all forms, including your cell phones. It is to disrupt your biosystem so that you become disconnected and cannot feel, hear, or see. However, all that has been suppressed within you will return to its full use as the earth and humanity raise its conscious level and the light sweeps in under the darkness and lifts you above it into a higher dimension where we all wait for you to ascend. The darkness will remain and won't know where you went on how you eluded them. You will be swept out from under them, and they will remain here to carry on their wars with each other until they have learned the lessons of futility of what they have been doing and turn to the light for rehabilitation. And that was Adam talking about the how life forms were brought to Earth. Is tried to give us a basic understanding. Next question is, why is the Earth getting warmer and unstable? It is from the sun's increased frequency or increase in CO2, a dimensional leap through the photon belt, the pollution and destruction of the Earth, or because of natural cosmic change. And I've tried to talk about this in different ways. Like I say, I tried to give people an understanding because there's knowledge and things. If you want to find it, it's there. And the more you know this, the more you're going to stop believing all kinds of things they try and make you believe. We will answer your question, yes to all of the above, and for these many reasons, and even more that you are seeing and feeling the earth warming up to degrees higher than in past decades and even eons. And yet it is all for the good cause, that of catapulting your Earth and her life forms into ascension. And this is pushing us there really fast. In the last 100 years, man, we've changed and beyond what people would have believed. Telos. For change to occur, change in the Earth's frequencies have to occur, not only on and in the Earth, but in your consciousness as well. As the Earth warms up and gets ready to fire up into the photon belt, your conscious fires up and amps you into a higher state of awareness. That's why I say you have to ask for this to bring up, because the Earth is at 7, she's going to 11. If you look at 7 hertz and you try to jump to 11, you can't. You have to bring your energy up, and it's going to go up 4 hertz into this really, really high vibration. And it's going to happen. It's going to change everything on this earth and creation. It's going to do really amazing things. As the earth warms up and gets ready to fire into the photon belt, your conscious fires up and amps up into higher states of awareness. The same with the earth. As her conscious fires up, all of her awareness heats up, which is everything on the earth, all gaining momentum to catapult her into the higher dimensions. So all of the above is contributing to this, and it's all planned. It's all got a purpose. Hey, Danny Spoons, glad you're here. I just finished reading, the last part was how are life forms brought to the earth. So now I'm doing, why is the earth getting warmer and unstable? Is it the sun? Is it CO2 and all this other stuff? But it's to get everything on the planet to get prepared to move into this photon belt and other things. So everything is heating up for a reason. The same with the earth. As her conscious fires up, all of her awareness heats up, which is everything on the earth, all gaining momentum to catapult her into a higher dimension. So all of the above is contributing to this. However, this does not mean that pollution and destruction is good. It only means that it is accelerating this process and urging Earth to move on, rather than allowing her to take her time and make her evolutionary leap into the 5th dimension. It is like an alarm telling her there is no more time to linger or wait, and that she must move on. In the past, she was waiting for all her life forms to gain the experience they needed to move on with her. Now that there is so much pollution and so much destruction, she can no longer give anyone any more needed time. You must all do it now. You must all gain all the awareness you need now, since the earth cannot hold back these changes any longer due to the destruction of her body and atmosphere caused by mankind. And yes, the sun increases frequency is also contributing to these changes, but this is a planned change, not accidental, and it is part of the planet and solar system trajectory path. For ascending, everything heats up, so to speak. When consciousness evolves and the planet and solar system and galaxies prepare to move up into a higher dimension, normal patterns that you have seen for eons suddenly, within 100 or less years, start changing so that movement can occur. And movement means change in everything, as you are now witnessing on the surface. Here in the hollow earth, we are not witnessing these changes because the factor of pollution and destruction does not exist here. However, we can feel the changes from within our being, and we know that these changes are happening even though we don't see them inside the earth. All is still very pristine and very peaceful here since the day we arrived many eons ago. But yet we see now and know all the changes that are occurring on the surface in our solar system and in our galaxy. But the effects of these changes are not occurring here inside the earth, for the radiance that all our people internal light emanates keeps us all in a state of perpetual nirvana, which is what is the goal of ascension actually. Ascension produces this state of internal radiance emanating from within each person's aura, that keeps you and everything you touch and everything around you in a state of purity and pristine beauty. And that's where people don't understand the word nirvana. They say all kinds of crazy things. You go to Buddhist temples and you go around people that practice, Oriental practices and that. They use this word and they try to tell you stuff and boss you around. They have no clue what it means, but they like sounding really good and intelligent. The sun's frequency is amping up. The sun's frequency is amping up to make these changes occur also. This is part of the natural process of the third dimension solar system, moving into the fifth dimension. That's where I say the sun is doing lots. She's sending stuff to the earth, and the earth is absorbing this in, which is allowing her to bring her energy up. And there's other things coming from the center of the universe, and that they've been studying it since I think it was like 97 and that, this photon belt. And they started saying this new energy is coming to the earth, the scientists. Lots of the Michikaku and really lots of really cool scientists like Greg Braden and others are aware of the energy is coming to the earth, the scientists. Lots of the Michikaku and really lots of really cool scientists like Greg Braden and others are aware of the energy is coming to the earth, the scientists. Lots of the Michikaku and really lots of really cool scientists like Greg Braden and others are aware of. They started putting all kinds of chemicals in our gas. They started putting all kinds of things and stuff that pollute and harm. And they even make cars really, really bad. So when you're driving around, you actually get sick. Whereas the old time vehicles, they were built to drive around in. Like I say, everything was designed to keep you healthy. And there's many, many kinds of chemicals that they put into gas. And they made people really fear lead. They made people fear all kinds of things. But like I say, you believe what you want. It's your choice. I can just give you information and you decide to deprogram your brain and really know the truth, or stay in the third dimension just repeating. You can do another 100,000 years saying "Om," going into the Buddhist temples and all kinds of other things. Your choice. The sun's frequency is amping up to make these changes occur also. It is part of the natural process of the third dimensional solar systems moving into the fifth dimension. However, the destruction of pollution is just hastening the process and ringing the alarm bells for the Earth's humans to wake up. My granddad told me as a little boy, everything on the Earth is prepared. It's man who has to wake up and catch up. And I've seen that. My granddad used to tell me about the future. He'd see stuff and however, the destruction and pollution is just hastening this process and ringing the alarm bells for Earth humans to wake up to the effects of their actions, of their thoughts and feelings. For it is your thoughts, feelings, words, and actions that are also contributing to the destruction and to the pollution. It is another form of destruction that people are just now waking up to, and why transformational workshops are proliferating. And people are taking classes trying to understand themselves and their behavior and learning how to harness their thoughts and feelings so they only feel and think things that they want to bring into their lives rather than what they don't want to have in their lives. This is the reason why the DVD called The Secret has gained such popularity in the USA. The Secret explains and shows how to use the universal laws that bring abundance, prosperity, peace, and health just by being aware of your thoughts, feelings, and words and actions. We recommend that people in Japan watch this DVD. For not only will it change your life if you follow these universal laws, but it will change the earth so that you can ascend in ease and grace rather than with the force and destruction of your surface. We know that this may sound like we digress from the question, but we have not, because it is universal law that connects everything and that makes everything work in synchronicity to bring a desired outcome. So, yes, the earth is heating up, the sun is heating up, your consciousness is expanding, and all is being prepared for this grand move into a higher state of consciousness and into the fifth dimension, where you will all be in constant awareness of all of your thoughts, because you will see how each and every thought will manifest immediately with no time lag like there is now. This time lag now between what you think and feel and say, do, is misleading, because people do not then make the connection that they themselves are bringing their reality to them. They are the ones creating everything in their lives, absolutely everything that they experience. Even though the earth is due to ascend, it can happen with ease and grace and in peace and prosperity if the surface humans can only control their thoughts. It does not have to happen in an Armageddon way. So we hope this answers your question. We are always available to you. We are in the inner Earth Council. We speak to you. Mikos presiding. So that was Mikos speaking. And like I say, if you really realize these truths, and it doesn't, you just get a bunch of people together and you hold thoughts, you can change things. As soon as you wake up in your day, you start creating your reality, start manifesting, attracting all kinds of stuff. Like I said, this morning I woke up and I thought about last night, getting all the black paint off this cup. Now it looks like a brand new cup, and that's what I did today, and that's what I manifest in my reality. And like I say, on Instagram, it was really cool to see my cousin from back home in Aklavik. And he was on Instagram here, and I'm like, that's really cool. Because there are people on Instagram that we've known that are not on TikTok. But I've been on TikTok reading books, trying to teach stuff. I read the Keys of Enoch and others, trying to help people understand this photon belt and other things that are going to change our reality. And I'm reading these books, and after I'm done this one, I'll be doing the 7 sacred flames. So you use the colors on that day and you practice certain things. You focus, you meditate, and you do things to have this energy. And when you go to sleep at night, you ask to go to these different universal schools to bring in this knowledge. Like some people are meant to create things from the Atlantean times so they can call on Mikos, and he will take you to places to show you and help you understand. I read it in book 3. Well, throughout the 3 books I read about Telos. And when I do the 7 sacred flames, it'll walk us through them all. So Sunday was orange yellow. I forget all the colors right now, but I'll write it out. And when I'm reading those books, like I say, I'm going to start trying to wear those colors on those days, because I'm going to start practicing this more and more and more and making things happen. So the next question is
rose pink, like your pants.
Oh, today is rose pink, like my pants is rose pink.
For the ray.
For the ray, today is the rose pink. So that's the color vibration today. And like I say, there's little prayers and things in the 3 books that you can call on different beings. You can use these colors throughout the day to shift and bring your energy up and down, to change your vibration, to help you to connect and understand all kinds of different things, because it's important to get this now. I always say get it in now, so now you know how to live in it, so you can move into the future. When I pray this on Sunday, I say call in this energy, everything now, so that you can move into the future. Call in your guides and teachers and all kinds of things from the future to come on in and help you in this process. Hey, Deb. Thanks for joining. So, question, do Telos and other cities in the inner earth exist physically? We will answer your question, yes and no. Yes, Telos does exist in your third dimension. It also exists in the fifth dimension. It actually does physically exist inside of Mount Shasta in the third dimension. There are no volcanic activities inside Mount Shasta. The lava tunnels in Mount Shasta were enrooted by us 12,000 years ago when the Lemurians went underground and traveled through the tunnels to reside in Mount Shasta as a result of the Atlantean and Lemurian War, which devastated the surface. So we do exist in the third dimension body forms, which we can now move in and out of at will. We have evolved to a point where we can raise and lower our energy fields and move in and out of embodiment. And this is what masters can do. They can go up into the universe, like Joshua ben Joseph. Later they called him Jesus. And supposedly he was Sananda before we gave him all these confusing names in the Bible and stuff. And he can take his body up and down. Like when he was in the cave after they killed him, he resurrected his body and he walked around for 2 weeks. After that, he left the planet. But he said he would reincarnate, come back at the end times, and he would fulfill his prophecy. And it says in the end times, he'll go to the Mount of Olives. He will kneel down and pray, and it'll rip from east to west, and there'll be no more wars on the planet. And he says that in the Bible. It's his words. And like I say, if you understand what is prophecy, not prophecy, reincarnation, and these higher dimensions are real, your choice. Do you want to access this or not? And like I say, the dark forces don't want any of us to know this. They want us to stay asleep. So I want to practice these things. I want to bring my energy up. I want to shift and I want to change. I want to go into this photon belt and I want to be in the future. That's why I tell you, invite in your future things, invite your teachers, whatever it is. Yeah, Doctor Strange is a good movie. Helps you to realize your energies and things. The inner earth, or I'll finish that. So we do exist in your third dimension body forms, which we can now move in and out of at will. We have evolved to a point where we can raise and lower our frequency, our energy fields, and we move in and out of embodiment. So if you were in Telos in the third dimension form, you would see us. However, when you come up to the outside of the mountain, we modify our energy fields and we move up to the fifth dimension and are indeed shielded from your physical eyes unless you can see into the fifth dimension. If you can perceive the fifth dimension energy, then you would see us. And yes, we look exactly like you. There are no differences in the physical body except that for the facts that we now have more DNA strands as a result of our long lives of being able to evolve in peace and harmony and brotherhood. For it takes a peaceful environment to evolve, and it is what we created for ourselves when we left the surface and came into Mount Shasta. When we want to be seen by those on the outside of the mountain, we can easily make ourselves visible to you. And this is where the people will say, oh, master or guru or something appeared in my home, taught me this, and then disappeared. They can do that. And that's where we're going to be going here. And we're going there faster and faster. But for most part, we prefer to stay invisible for our own protection. The time will come when we will be appearing to your surface folks. That time is very near. We hope this has answered your questions. I am Mikos. So I have a little over 10 pages. Cindy can come in and maybe talk a little bit about what she feels. But yeah, you got to learn to deprogram your mind. Because you're looking at thousands of lifetimes of accepting being asleep. And people have had experiences. People go to native ceremonies. They go to all kinds of ceremonies. they go into yoga and they bliss out, and then they crash, and then they go to another other ceremony and they bliss out, and then they crash, and they do this, and they go schizophrenic, and they short circuit, and they fry their glands, and they do all kinds of stupid things trying to be powerful, misusing their minds or beliefs, and they don't want to stop and change. Lots of people know they made mistakes and they got to start over, but they don't want to, and they like being in this game of a sleep called reincarnation. So I am going to take a little break. I'm going to let Cindy come in so I can use the washroom, and then I got like 12 pages. I'll try to finish up by noon, and I'll have this book done. And I think Sunday I may do my TikTok live, but I'm not fully sure right now. I don't know how tired me and Cindy will be, so that's on pause too. So we'll see. Okay. Are these glasses still good for you? These ones?
Oh yeah, I haven't seen them in a long time. No, they're old. Hey guys. All right, so we're on 2 platforms. Just for those who didn't already know, the link in the bio for Fox Dreamer Tribe is on the school platform. You download the app, you can join the group for free. But I recognize it only gives you access to the discussion. It's really weird. But there's a paid membership of $5 US dollars a month, and then you can access all the material that I'm going to put in there, which is all the recordings of all the books that Joe has done and his little commentary, and then the PDFs that I create to go along with it, which I am in process of creating the 7 Sacred Flames PDF to go with it, which I'm just going to fix up. I'll link it in the link tree here for you to download, because I learned today that you guys can't get those documents unless you're a paid member on the school platform. It's not what I intended, but I think it's going to have to stick. So here I'll put the Sunday through Saturday and the colors and the masters and the ray and the purpose of the ray. I've already done it up, so I'll link it in when Joe comes back on. So Sunday is yellow, Monday is royal blue, Tuesday's rose pink ray, Wednesday's the emerald green ray, Thursday the golden ray, Friday the pure dazzling white ray, and Saturday the penetrating violet ray of transmutation. So while I was also expanding on these teachings in a PDF format to summarize each one of those rays, I had to dig through Telos to find them. And while you guys were learning from Joe, I was creating the summary for the first ray, and it's in volume 2 on page 57, the will of God, the first ray activity. And he's like, you got to do this one first, guys. So the will of God is a blue ray, and I think that's Wednesday. Flipping through. No. Where is the will of God? The first one. No. Monday. The royal blue is the will of God amplified. Mondays. Okay. So he's saying basically you got to do this one first out of all of it. And the whole idea of it is surrender, and that all of us forgot how to trust in God and trust in the universe because of our fears and our traumas. And it is what's getting in the way of us actually surrendering to God's will, or the will of God. And so we need to work on that. We got to figure that out. We have to, he's like saying, if you don't do this, you'll just reincarnate and you'll come back again. And I get that with the teachings that even Joe shares. And he's saying, like, no one can do it for you. You have to want this. And so you ask before you go to bed at night to travel to the temple The will of God. It was the name of the temple. It's not illumination. Yeah. And learn how to surrender. Ask to be taught how to surrender. And it will give you tests in your life to surrender into trusting in God. Okay. So that's just like a quick little like throwback into the 7 rays on that. Anybody got any questions for me? Yeah, so okay, so she flies with her own knowings. Love the name. I try, but it's hard. Fear takes over. Totally. Like I'm sure there's lots of people that can relate with that because it's such an ingrained pattern. And it's asked to have full understanding of what that fear is teaching you, perhaps. Asked to understand it some more because there's just pieces that you're missing and you're not able to plug into that higher self because like there's a team of beings that are there to help you, and that's what they're saying is totally getting in the way of you surrendering and to the will of God. Is like you forgot how to trust in your higher self. You forgot what it means to trust in God, and it is, yeah, it is tough because that's how it's like we chose to come to this experience and to go through these tests, right? And I think about like the video game of life, and I think about Super Mario Brothers, and if somebody doesn't like control that little like the little princess or whatever to jump, like nothing ever happens, and then they just time out. It's like you have to meet the challenges that present themselves, and then it's like ask to see what's on the other side of your fear. If you watch the movie Revolver by Guy Ritchie, Jason Statham is an actor in it. It came out in 2005. That one is it's all a psychological movie, and it's the movie that's playing inside his own mind. It's not a real world in it, and you'll see these little hints that it's not real. And he is faced with his tests, and it's like family, it is money, it is desire, it's where will he surrender into the old program, and they keep coming after him, but he keeps trusting. There's a knowing inside him that says that there's something more, and he faces death over and over and over again, and he doesn't die, and he gets to the very end. Like his ultimate fear is tight spaces, like an elevator. He's like, heck no, I am not going to do that. It looks like our internet connection is going really off today too, so if it's blipping out, sorry about that. So you see him battle with his fear, and his fear is his own self, like yelling at him, telling him to be afraid, and he's standing there all stoic and calm, and he's like, I can see you, I know that you're there. And then he's just like, well, why aren't you afraid of me? Like, fear me. And he just like walks right through it, walks right past it, like a total presence, like a boss of his, and it's of himself. He transcends his own fear. And he's like, I can stand in an elevator and it's totally fine because I understand that the fear was never real, but the fear was there to teach him and test him about how to go beyond the fear. Yeah. So I recommend the movie, but I'm telling you, if you watch it once, you're probably going to miss a lot. I've watched it many times. Even on YouTube, there's little clips of the movie Revolver, and I'll quote them in my mind too when I just kind of want to bring in an energy of like focus, and like there's so many other elements going on in your day right now. It's not exactly as you see it right in front of you. And what Joe had read in the Telos book, he's like, when you are aware of your thoughts, all of your thoughts at once, like that movie, Everywhere, All of the Time, or it's like everything, everywhere, all the time, or all at once. It's like that. There is a level to our thinking and our thought energy that moves in every direction to the ends of space and back again every moment. And Tipson, like, you're exactly right. It's like, be the observer of your thoughts And it's like, what does that mean? Is it for each person? It's like, I will replay my thoughts. I'll catch a thought where I'm at. I'm like, oh, why am I here? How did I get here? And I rewind it. And I can see that little piece that came in that inspired this like cascade of thinking that took 40 seconds maybe to happen. And that's like start to become the master of your mind. And when you are observing it, you are not in any kind of emotional reaction too. That's what I've learned too. It's like you are separated from the thoughts, but you're connected to the thoughts at the same thing. Like oracle alchemy, you're right, warp speed. It's so far reaching in its capacity, like of our linear minds, right? How our thoughts are just these energies that are like, our fears are the same things. They're thoughts, they're energies. It's like when we can become the master of it all, it's like that's that initiation into the next level. And we got to start somewhere. And with the 7 sacred flames, they are suggesting to start at surrender to the will of God and remember how to trust. It's not even so much like learning how to trust, because at some part of your soul level already knows how to trust in the universal energy that is constantly creating through you. And I'll go back to the beginning when I first came on and started the lives today. I was mentioning about how in this book, The Universal One by Walter Russell, he was saying in the very beginning, first page, I took time to read that first page. And let's see if I can get it here. I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you guys really enjoy Joe. I'm sure you guys enjoy me too. Okay, I'm going to read the first page for you on this one, but the whole idea is that it is a creating universe. It is not a created universe. It's moving. Divine mind, God, spirit, creation, and the order of creation. Chapter 1. In the beginning, God. There is but one God. There is but one universe. God is the universe. God is not one and the universe another. The universe is not a separate creation of God's. It is God. There is no created universe. Nothing is which has not always been. All created things are from the beginning. They have no beginning. They do not come into being. They are and always have been and always will be. Creation means to man the coming into existence of something which was not before in existence. Man's concept of creation is the coming into being of a physical, visible universe, heretofore non-existent. The Creator is to man's mind a sublime being, separate and apart from man, who created the physical universe of matter, causing to come into being that which had not been. Man holds the concept of 2 universes, a spiritual and a physical. God is presumed to be of the spiritual universe perfect, matter of the physical universe imperfect. God supposedly created the imperfect physical universe separate and apart from himself. Man conceives a perfect and omnipotent God. A perfect and omnipotent God could not create imperfection. He could not create a lesser than himself. He could not create a greater than himself. God could not create other than himself. God did not create other than himself, nor greater nor lesser than himself. In the sense generally understood by man, God did not create anything. Nothing has been created. This is a creating universe, not a created one. Man's concept of the sublime being as the creator of a material universe, different in substance from the spiritual universe, is a misconcept. God is all there is. Beyond God there is nothing. Superior to God there is nothing. Inferior to God there is nothing. Opposed to God there is nothing. Creation is not more, nor is it less than it has always been from the beginning. It cannot be more than God, nor can it be less than God. creation is an apparent integration and continuity of which already exists in substance. It is a periodic change of state of one unchanging substance. It is evolution. So the one unchanging substance. And I like it how it says we have this understanding of two universes, there being a physical universe and a spiritual universe, and we perceive our creator as only being of the spiritual universe, and then we're something separate from him. And that's kind of the trap, that we have always believed ourselves to be separate from the universe, from creator. And that perception of separation is what is like causing us to continually reincarnate and not fulfill our soul's purposes here in this planet. So the universal one is by Walter Russell. And now Walter Russell, you guys, who was on TikTok, know from Terrence Howard, how he went kind of had a bit of a spiritual psychosis in the way that he was delivering the Walter Russell teachings. And this guy, he was in the early 1900s. I think he died in 1940, something like that. And he tapped into the universe. Yeah, his school system said that he was really stupid and that they couldn't teach him nothing. And so his mom kept him home from school. And she said, you know what? Your teachers told me that you're so smart that they can't teach you because you're way too smart. So he was like, okay. And his mom taught him basically kind of like how Joe's grandfather taught him, is like how to tap in and get all your answers that you ever need from the universe. And so anything he put his mind to, he mastered it in a moment. Like he became an artist, he was a figure skater, he was a concert pianist, and he just taught himself because he knew how to plug into the universe and do it. Awesome, Danny Jackson. So what we are, what was, what is, and what will be is all happening all at the same time, and is not separate from each other. And that's where in what Joe was just reading, it says like, become aware of all your thoughts that are all happening all at the same time. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy this, my little rant there. Here's Joe.
Again, like I say, Cindy brings up things, and some of these topics you can spend days and days, weeks, months, even years trying to understand, because when everything is happening at once, a lot of people don't have that concept, and they distort it in lots of different ways. And that's where you need these higher beings to come in to really, really help you to understand and be that energy to allow yourself to shift. And you want to get out of this 3D 7 hertz energy, and you want to move up and match this 11 hertz. You want to fire your 8, 9, 10th, 11th chakra. You want to fire all kinds of other things. And they won't make you do it. You have to ask. That's why when you get up every day, you've created and manifested your day and your reality. And these things go on all the time. But everybody is always, is something else manipulating. Is it this or that? It's like, no. Every time you dream, every time you do anything, you're bringing that reality in. Then you get up and you live it out like a play, like going on. If you were an actor and you're in Shakespeare, you would act out Romeo or Juliet. So every day you get up, you act out what you created. And right from the day you're born to your last breath. And the universe wants to bring you up in these places, but until you want and you focus, you meditate, you work with this knowledge, you do all these things, they're not going to do it. Stop waiting around for Jesus or somebody to blink. Stop praying to the Dalai Lama. He's not going to take you into heaven. He's not going to do anything. He's trying to save himself, and he's trying to use all his Buddhist knowledge and hope he done right so he can actually go into something higher. But people pray to him, think he's God, and he's just going to take them all into heaven with him. It's not a reality. Don't hang those Tibetan Buddhist flags inside your house and think that's going to get you into being ascended master or anything like that. Stop doing these things. What is the difference between the inner earth and the hollow earth? The inner earth consists of Telos and over 120 Argatha subterranean cities of light. And this is where the substance that is always God is the light. It transforms into everything. We get to co-create. We get to take this light energy and we get to do something. And the longer you live, the more you understand this. And that's why you want to live to be 1,000 years old. You want to live to be way older. And it's important for you to want to do that. So find the right things, do the right things. Don't pray and don't go and find yogi gurus and all kinds of things and think that just because you go to their ashram or you go and you do little ceremonies and that with them, that's not going to get you into the fifth dimension or higher, because they can't do it for you. A lot of these teachers in ashrams and that is you go up and you hit a ceiling and you just go back and forth with that teacher in the ashram. He can't teach you anything more than what he knows. And a lot of these people that are in these places are working for the darkness. And this is where you got to decide, because there is a teacher that will come and help you to actually get into the fifth dimension in the future. We're already in the age of Aquarius. We're already in that 1,000 years of change and everything else that's going on. Already talked about that in the past. The inner earth consists of Telos, over 120 other Argatha subterranean cities of light just a few miles beneath the earth's surface, including the city of Cathera, which is directly inside the center core of the earth beneath the Aegean Sea, and is where the library of Pythagoras is located and where Mycos is from. And this is where, if you are here to create machines and things from the future, you will tap into this. You will start doing the work. You will start focusing on this higher energy, and you're going to stop running around doing crystal bowls and cacao ceremonies and light language and all this other stuff. You're going to put your mind in one direction, and you're going to climb this ladder to get to what the future is. The inner earth consists of all the areas that is below the earth's surface throughout the globe, including the caverns and the vast tunnel systems. Includes all 800 miles from the top of the earth's surface to the inner hollow opening in the center. The hollow earth is just an area that exists in the very center core of the earth, which is hollow, and starts at about 800 miles down. Once you are inside the hollow cavity of earth, the diameter of the open space is about 6,400 miles. The diameter of the whole earth is 8,000 miles. Question: why are we skipping the fourth dimension when we move into the fifth? We will all attempt to answer the questions because it is a complex one, and this is all these things. When you say everything is going on right now, it's complex. And you tell that to somebody that's just going on a spiritual journey, they have no idea what you're talking about. It's like there's times I say I'm aware of the past, present, and future. I can't explain it. But inside me, there's something going on that understands that reality. And people love this new age thing, hearing all this stuff and then walking around and saying all these really amazing things they don't understand. Why are we skipping the fourth dimension when we are moving into the fifth? It is very a complex one. We are the Inner Earth Council. Mycos is presiding. We say to you not to be so caught up in dimensions, and that's where people get caught up in all kinds of things, but rather to concentrate on bringing up your energy and raising it up into a higher level of consciousness, because this is where the higher dimension exists. They exist in higher states of awareness. So you can access higher dimensions by accessing higher states of consciousness. You'll move directly into the fifth dimension because the fourth dimension will no longer exist. It is in the process of being dismantled and removed by the spiritual hierarchy as part of the accelerating ascension plan that will catapult you directly into the fifth dimension. The fourth dimension was used in the past by departing souls who didn't go directly into the light. And that's where there's many gods and spirits in the fourth dimension. And people like going there and playing there. They don't want to evolve past that. The fourth dimension was used in the past for departing souls who didn't go directly into the light, but lingered for great lengths of time. This departure passageway has now changed or been rerouted, as you might say, so that the departing souls no longer become trapped in obsolete dimensions, waiting for hundreds and thousands of years to move into the light. That is now all over with. Therefore, you will all move directly into the fifth, with no dimensions in between. The next step, however, you want to put your the next step is wherever you want to put your foot. After you reach the fifth dimension consciousness, are securely in the fifth dimension, you will then choose your future destination at that time. Some of you may choose to return to the third dimensional Earth to help other souls regain their full consciousness. Some of you may choose to go back to your home planets. Your home planets exist in many different dimensions depending on how evolved your soul is. Your soul frequency matches your planetary frequency, and that's why I say there's lots of beings on this planet. And people talk about, for other planets and all kinds of other things. Natives have always understood this. And they accept that. And like I say, it's part of teachings and all kinds of stuff. So yes, some of you may choose to go home to your sixth dimensional planet. Some of you may choose to go home to your seventh dimensional planet. Some of you may choose to go home to your eighth dimensional planet, and so on. Do you understand this? Many souls may want to stay in the fifth dimension and experience its peacefulness and abundance and richness, and continue their soul advancement there for a while before moving on. There will be a myriad of choices once you reach the fifth dimension, so there is no need to concern yourself about how this now or to try make decisions about where you want to go. Like I say, when we get to places, we know when we're there what we're going to do. It's really important to understand that. But people think, oh yeah, when I get there, I'll decide. No, you already have made a choice. There is no hurry. There is only hurry. The only hurry is into reaching the fifth dimension plane of existence, where you will be once again pain-free, disease-free, lack-free, and totally free in all ways. You will be supplied with all you can ever wish for, and then more. You stay tuned into your consciousness. Be alert to all that is around you. Make positive and loving choices, and send love to everyone. This is the fastest way to increase your awareness and evolve your consciousness. Always remember that we in the inner earth are all standing beside you, gently guiding you on your path to the stars. Bonjour, my friends. The next question, consciously guiding your thoughts. So Adam and Rosalia are standing by, channeling this. We thank you for coming to the computer. There is so much to talk about. Your conference calls are changing the world's consciousness, and we are pleased to be part of them through you. You see, we listen through your ears and feel through your heart. We are all one, aren't we? Of course. We ask your higher selves for permission, and it is given. Consciousness is all there is. It comes in many forms, in many vibrations, many colors. It is part of the energy spectrum of light. It has wide ranges, heights, and depths. The key is to excel in all its range until you reach nirvana, where we in Telos dwell. Everything is an exercise in consciousness. Every thought, feeling, and action and word you use determines your level of consciousness. Focused attention in every now moment is essential because now the energies are on the rise, dramatically increasing day by day, and being in control and consciously guiding your thoughts, bringing you to what you want to receive. So when you tune into this, you receive it, rather than what you don't want to receive by random unconscious thoughts. Concentration in the now, focused intent, visualization of your dreams will bring what you want into the fruition rapidly now. Manifestation is on the rise, and you want it to be positive and to be what you truly desire. So vigilance is needed every moment of your waking day. To be a master, you must master your thoughts, your feelings at every moment. That's why I say you gotta master this. People don't. We call it being in the present, and the present is feeling the source flowing through you. It is a heightened state of awareness. Being in the presence allows the God force to permeate every fiber of your being so that you are wide awake and alert and receptive to all that is coming through you. You are then able to receive from the cosmos all you desire and deserve. In Telos, we plan our lives, our day, and our minutes by clearly feeling our way through life. We are alert to all nuances and shapes our thoughts according to our desires, thereby bringing us exactly what we want and when we want it. It is a practice. We have had eons to practice because of our long lifespans. This is what you have been missing on the surface. You have been missing your longevity or your your long lifetimes. This longevity gives you the memories of all you have learned so that you don't have to keep learning and remembering over and over again. You learn it once and you remember it for many thousands of years in the same body. Then manifesting becomes as natural as walking and running. You don't have to think about it. It just happens, and it happens perfectly. We see a rapid rise in consciousness now exploding on the surface, and it is time. It is long overdue. Soon you will see crumbling of the old and the rising of the new. Then we emerge. I am Rosalia. And this is where me reading this, you can feel an energy, you can feel stuff. When I mention these names, it triggers something you already know inside. And like I say, if you're a part of this future that I talk about and I try to teach and help people understand, then this is going to change you. And when I do the 7 sacred flames, if you use the colors and practice what they teach in there, that's going to shift you, and you're going to feel that energy. And you have to teach and help people understand this.
I linked the document in the Linktree.
Cindy says she linked the document in Linktree. So Mikos here says, thoughts should be pure as the air, light as the wind, and dazzling as diamonds. Then all you think will manifest. How many people think that way? Not too many. Adam says, every thought, feeling, and action and word you use determines your level of consciousness. Sananda says, all that you shall ever seek lies within. You bring all that you desire to you through your imagination and thoughts. So here's a Sunday chat. This is Adam. We see into the future and we see you here with us ensconced in our arms. So like when I started reading this, they're already aware, all you people on TikTok and around the world and that, and they've already connected. Even though I only started reading these books, about a month or more ago. And it's same with Cryon. If you're going to read a Cryon book, and you pick up book 1 that was written way back in the 90s, when that book was channeled, those spirits knew that now you got this Cryon book and they connect with you, even though they were aware of it in 1997 or 1990 or whatever it was, and they wait till this day. You go, oh, when you come across a Cryon book, you buy it, you bring it home, you start reading it. They're already aware. So these beings in the fifth dimension are already aware. So all of you who pop on and off this TikTok listening to me, there's energies and things that are yours. And this is why you're brought here. This is why I'm reading and teaching and doing these things. We see into the future, and we see you here with us, ensconced in our arms. What a lovely Sunday it is when we all unite like this in front of the computer. For although you cannot see us, we stand around you and hold your energy and merge as all into one great beam of light energy, focusing our intent in and through you as you sit at the keyboard. So the person is channeling this, beaming all this energy and things out. I'm reading it to you, so this energy is coming through to everybody. We smile at you as you take our messages. We dream of the future together, just as you dream of your future with us here in Telos. Yes, Mikos is joined with us all, as Sunday is a chat time. Our future is glorious together, and yours will begin sooner than you think, with the mountains as your guide and the mirror and conductor and connections to us. Everything is moving fast now, and this is why your focus on us is critical, for all thoughts and feelings are being manifest now in the record time. So we say keep the focus on us. So you got to focus on these beings in the fifth dimension. Say meditating and doing these things, you're gonna see things are gonna really shift. Everything is moving fast now. This is why your focus on us is critical, for all thoughts and feelings are being manifest now in record time. So we say keep the focus on us. As we keep our focus on you being here with us, it shall very soon come to pass in more ways than you can conceive. All is in readiness now. And then Ashtar would like to speak now. I am coming for all my light workers. So Ashtar is connected to some of you people and is going to help you. All my light workers, as I promise, our starships are countless in energy bands around the globe. We have you all totally monitored. Your lives will be one of ease now. That's why you stop trying to use mirrors and protections and stupid crap. You allow them to do it. They know who you are. They know what needs to go on. Your lives will be one of ease now, and you will glide through it like liquid silver glides through a tube. Easy, refreshing, rewarding. All is in place. We only go forwards from here. Sananda and I are personally guiding each of you always. Just lean on us. We are here for you, for we are you. There is no separation, only divine oneness. Rosalia is here. Our chambers are prepared for your stay here in Telos. All accommodations are ready. We have been for a long time. We eagerly await your arrival. You are correct in not thinking about how it will happen, just seeing it happen. See it from that point of your already being here inside Telos, already wrapped in our arms, already healed, already whole and complete, as indeed you are. We bid you good day. Next question. When we feel confusion and anxiety in our lives, where does it go? It goes out into the ethers and is picked up by weather beings who then play out your thought forms through erratic weather patterns on the surface and bring them back into your lives. Know that your thought manifestation manifests the weather along with the interventions of your government's toxic experiments on your population. The weather beings are great souls who choose to play this game on Earth, to experiment just as you, but they are thwarted by your moving into the lower vibrations and forgetting who they are, thus changing your thinking from love-based to fear-based. The weather beings carry out your wishes, like a genie in a bottle. Whatever thoughts and feelings you are experiencing and sending out are picked up by them. They in turn manifest them through the weather patterns. And that's where on Sunday I say, the beings of the sky and other things, you want to connect with that. In the beginning of this experiment, all humanity's thoughts and feelings were only of love and harmony, and all humanity was in emotional mental balance. Now humanity, for most part, exhibits fear, loss, lack, confusion, anxiety, and anger. This is what the weather beings are bringing back to you in the form of erratic and tumultuous weather patterns. You are witnessing the earthquakes and volcanoes in ever increasing numbers now because this is what is happening inside your soul. Humanity is experiencing emotional, mental upheavals that are rocking the planet and throwing her orbit even more off course. When you're grappling with a situation that is causing you confusion, you must keep your emotional body in check. Rein it in, rein your thought forms so that they do not splinter and spread out into the ethers, contributing to mass consciousness and all life around you. We know how difficult this is for you to do, since you cannot project into the future or access similar situations to see how they were resolved. This is a benefit we have. We don't need to go to the depths of despair that you do, because we go to our living records and access the many ways that a particular situation can be resolved. Then we just choose one of those and follow the guideline. Everything that has ever happened is recorded in our libraries, and this is there for us to glean. So this is where the Akashic records and all kinds of things, you can see and know everything. And everything you do in this lifetime is going to be recorded. Nothing is going to be erased, hidden. Stop trying to do that. And of course, we can project into the future and compare the different probabilities and taking different forms of action, then weigh which one would be best for us to follow. This makes it very easy to live a stress-free life. Being able to see what lies ahead guides us on our path. Soon you too will have these capabilities as the earth is ever rising in consciousness. You will wonder why you didn't see these things before. Well, they are always there, only your consciousness wasn't. I am Mikos, and that's why we carry all kinds of ancient knowledge. Sometimes we tap into it and use it, other times we don't. We're waiting for somebody to tell us that they give us permission. Nobody can give you that permission. You're either going to do it or you don't. It's where everybody's trying to get certified to be shamans and all kinds of craziness. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you waiting for somebody to say you have this gift and ability and you can do that? I try to share my gifts and abilities with the world, and everybody is trying to get me to prove it. I don't have to. The universe knows everything. And whenever I need to do anything, I call on the universe. That's what real shamans do. They talk to the earth. They talk to everything. They know the elemental spirits. Like these beings that it says, these weather beings, I can talk to them. And they will change things if I ask them to. I know a lot of things. I don't play around with it. I don't show off. I don't pretend to be Harry Potter wizard or anything else. And I do a lot of different things, but I only do it if I have permission. So, like I say, don't try to erase your past. Don't try to erase your memories. Don't try to be ashamed of anything. You misunderstood things. You were lied to since you were a child. You were made to believe all kinds of crap. And people need to step into the truth and start showing their light and teaching things. And this is where, like I say, people are here to do stuff, but they're waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. I always tell people, I can't tell you what to do. I can give you answers. You're going to make a choice and do it or not. Some people have gotten clearings for me and I've channeled to them. And they know they're meant to move. They know they're meant to do things, but they haven't. They're still waiting for somebody to tell them to it. And it's like, you decide. The universe knows what to do for you. Everybody has their own choices. I have mine, Cindy has hers, everybody. And we're either going to practice these things and bring our energy way up and change this whole planet and do something amazing, Or we're just going to stay stuck and keep repeating and just put on dirty diapers and walk around in the third dimension and do the same ignorant thing for another 100,000 years. So soon you too will have the capabilities as the earth is ever rising in consciousness. You will wonder why you didn't see these things before. Well, they're always there, only your consciousness wasn't. So that's Miko's. Next one, Cosmic Stock Report. Consciousness is booming. It is the biggest commodity expansion on the stock market. Invest in it today. It will bring you great cosmic dividends in the future. The more you invest, the more you will always have, for you always take it with you no matter what lifetimes you are in, for its value exponentially increases. It is better than gold you leave behind in the end of each lifetime. And this is where knowledge, like I say, it grows and grows and grows and grows. And you have had all kinds of knowledge from many, many other lifetimes. And it's very, very valuable. And some people, they're not accessing or using that. They're just chasing new age stuff. All being light language. Oh, I think I'll do light language. Like, why? Oh, I'm going to be a Reiki master. Why? In other lifetimes, you were more than a Reiki master and all kinds of other stuff. Why do you follow all of this? Why do you stay asleep and choose this? The more you invest, the more you will always have. For you always take it with you no matter what lifetime you are in. For its value exponentially increases. It is better than gold you leave behind at the end of each lifetime. So take the time to invest now by meditating, by exploring, and by loving yourself. Investing in your consciousness is free. It is the only free commodity available on the stock market today. No dollars out of your pocket, just your time and willingness to expand your perception, and voila, you have it. You will be able to perceive the deceptions going on around you through your media and by your governments. You will see how you've been duped to believe in the righteousness of wars and insane American government leaders leading your country and the world to the brink of disaster. Yes, the higher consciousness is where you want it to be. So invest now. It is more than an investment in your life. It is an investment in the continuance of the world. And that's why I'm like, I can give you the knowledge, but I can't make you do anything. I can channel, I can do all kinds of stuff. But what are you going to do with it? I've been teaching for 3 years. I've cleared many, many, many people, and it hasn't done anything. And now light language came in, Reiki came in, everybody went crazy. Now light language came in, everybody gone crazy. And they're all chasing it, doing these things. Nobody is taking the time to focus on the future, the fifth dimension, to bring their energy up or change. All you see is in change. Look at the skies around you. It is changing, isn't it? The clouds look different, the colors look different. Even the color of the sun has changed from yellow to white. All is in change, down to the smallest particle. There is a molecular change taking place at the subatomic level that is affecting all life forms, from animals to minerals throughout your food chain and beyond. All you see is in change. The great changeover will bring you all once again into the arms of the Creator, where you will be able to access your true self and return to the full consciousness, the consciousness you left behind when you came here to Earth. Every vibration, every thought is in the process of change into a higher state of velocity, creating a whirlwind lifting you up into higher levels of consciousness. All of us in Telos are waiting for the divine moment to unfold when the vibration and mass consciousness on the surface is high enough for us to emerge from from our homes underground and come up into the sunlight on the surface. For your sun is calling us just as the stars are. All life wants us to surface now. All is in readiness for the great emergence, and this time is nigh. See, the time is now. It is almost high noon, so to speak, when our force of lights can join with you on the surface to celebrate your breakthrough of consciousness. Oh, what a joy this will bring to your hearts, to know that the time is so close to our actual meeting again in physical form for all the world to see. Someday soon you will be contacted and there will be a knock on your door and we will be there. It's as simple as that. What love we hold in our hearts for you all, and what devotion we feel for all you have done on our behalf. We are as devoted to you as you to us. This devotion is a oneness, our soul's connection. Before you know it, you will find yourself safely ensconced in Telos, and all else will seem as a dream. But do dream on, for it is your dream to be here that will bring you here even sooner. For time is an illusion as it weaves its way around your lifetime, making them seem to progress rather than simply express the new you in the moment. So every day we can become new. Every day we can change and shift. Next one, we wait for you at the gates of Telos. We wait at the gates of Telos for the telepathic connections to your souls. Since your souls are one, we are really waiting for us to connect with us. Isn't this so? My, what a mastery it all is. We thank you for connecting with us today. Even though it is late in your day, we are glad you found the time, or should we say, will to connect with us as the portal to Telos. Your heart is a portal, and your wish or desire to talk to us is relayed through space and time to find us waiting for you whenever we are in Telos. We stop what we are doing, sit down, and open our receptors to receive your transmission of thoughts and feelings. So this is how it is, at least one way you will find us ready and waiting for you. We are laughing too, right alongside you. And now we begin. Our hearts are filled with so much love for all humanity as we see them struggling through their workday trying to make sense of it. But believe me, there is no sense to struggle, as you can attest. It serves no purpose except to alienate people from the joy and purpose of living on the earth. People wonder what it is all about. Why did they come here to struggle? Why they didn't? Or well, they didn't. It was forces of darkness that instituted this way of life to keep you people from having the time to know who they are. You see, time is so crucial to evolvement. Without the time to explore yourself, to explore the world around you, to explore your relationships, you cannot figure out what life is about. So you go on struggling with no hope in sight and no relief at this end. And this is where they distract you, always creating fears, always creating something. So you'll never connect with this energy, knowledge, change. You'll just stay stuck constantly chasing something, wasting your time. It is a sad way to live, especially with all the opportunities available that people cannot delve into because they are always too tired from struggling through the earth game. Well, this game is about to end and the extremes of polarity are merging now, and soon there won't be a sharp difference or demarcation separating people into different camps of thought and ideologies. The light is increasing, and as it does, people will be moving into a higher light frequency and will be able to see through the struggles and how it was all set up to keep them enslaved, isolated from finding their true identity. You will see great changes taking place, and the games will be seen for what it is. The people will revolt out from their positions of slavery into that freedom. Freedom to take the time to learn about themselves and the earth and galaxy. All the information that has been kept a secret for so long, we will now be releasing, and there will be a great celebration and bravo on Earth plane that will be heard throughout the galaxy's frontier. Just hold on to a little longer and you will have the freedom to come and go Travel with your heart, swim to wherever you desire. All will be free, and all life will rejoice. Your heart's desire to be in Telos with their family once again will be honored. Actually, you will be the ones to manifest this desire once you are in Shasta. Yes, she is still calling to you as you are still calling to her. Your heart's desire will come true. I am Rosalia. The gates of Telos, the portal of entry. Greetings from Telos, Rosalia. Once again, greeting you to stand at the gates of Telos, the portal entry that will bring you swiftly inside where I reside. Portals are vast lights and closed passages that transport you bodily in a twinkling of an eye to your destination that earmarks our intent by your thought projections. This will become easy and easier to do as the Earth's vibration is drastically increasing as we draw closer and closer to that time. The Arcturian Stargate that was anchored in Mount Shasta on 777 is holding the energies of the Earth ascensions, broadcasting it directly to the central sun through Arcturus, through Mount Shasta, then spreading throughout the Earth in the magnetic wave of love energy. It is a frequency of love that is permeating the Earth plane through the crystal grids and meridians crisscrossing through the Earth. All is in a heightened state of exposure to love vibration. It is that it it and sorry and as it fills the earth plane and fills your senses, you delight in the joyous fragrance. It is a fragrance of joy infused with love, which equals light. As you are lifted by the infusion, you are brought closer and closer to ascension portals on earth, so there's a lot of them all around. There are now many of them scattered around and more particularly stationed on sacred sites, and these are going to be activated. We know you are all longing to come inside the city of light, and we watch and wait for you to approach to our sacred mountain. For surely some of you will be entering soon. In the past, only a few souls were allowed in, and once in, remained with us or traveled on to their home planets. That will be changing now, for some of you will be requesting to return to the surface, and this will be granted to you, since it is now time for the populace at large to know of our existence. You will be the messengers with direct experience of beings inside with us. The next step will be unfolding soon as night leads to day and light keeps increasing its brightness until all becomes one globe of pulsating bright light, moving you through all the portals into our arms. The Jade Healing Temple, Adam and Rosalia. Keep focusing on your being with us in the Jade Healing Temple, for where your conscious is, you are. We can then work with the etheric bodies while you're in our homes. Keep us in your visualization as much as possible, for this is our bond and bringing about your merging more rapidly. Where you are in consciousness is where your body has to follow. Remember, we stand at the gate, and that's Rosalia and Adam from the Jade Healing Temple. It says, my energy covers the mountain, Adam, and I speak to you of the experience on the mountain. I know how much you are longing for me to appear, but please do not look for me in someone else's body, for I would not be there. I am fully capable of using my own body to appear to you. I do not have to disguise myself or step into another person's body to appear to you. I do come out of the mountain occasionally, but always in my own body, which still looks like the age of 30, hefty and strong, my hair still golden blonde and my shoulder length, and I am 7 feet 2 inches tall. All of us in Telos are very aware of the presence of the mountain, and our love and energy enfold you all as you climb the paths and hold your meditations. You don't need to ask others for validation of what you experience. Learn to validate your own experiences yourself. If you're feeling happy, do you ask others to validate your happiness? If you experience energy, Do you need to ask someone else if it was my energy? Learning to validate your own experience is a step forwards. Mastership. Mastership is attained through discernment and owning your own experiences without having to ask others for validation. That's where you can get certified or anything. My energy covers the mountain, so when you walk on the mountain, you walk with me, for I am energetically beside you. Whether you feel my presence or not, and if you felt my energy, it was because you tapped into my energy field. The use of common sense and discernment are still necessary even in a state of excitement. And then it says, I am the mountain. We are the elements composing Mount Shasta, and our auric stretches for miles wide. You think we are stable, but we are wobble, shimmer. We are wobble. Shimmer is more than a term. We are not stationary as your eyes perceive. We move in and out of dimensions and glow with light. It is only in this third dimension that we appear not to move. That's why in the natives we say grandmothers and grandfathers. And these balls of light and spirits come and go, and they can transform, they can heal, they can do all kinds of things. Natives have been practicing this for thousands of years, and they still do. We move in and out of all dimensions, and we glow with light. It is only in the third dimension that we appear not to move. We are each specks of dust you see, each stone and boulder that you pass as you walk our paths. We are alive with consciousness and perceive all that transpires all around us. Every word, every movement is recorded within our matrix. We remember everything. So when Cindy went to Mount Shasta, they have her energy. They know who she is. They connected with her. Every word, every movement is recorded within our matrix, and we remember everything. We may be small, but we are wise, and together we comprise this great mountain. We are her components, and she is grand indeed. She is the spirit of Shasta, all decked out in her finest greenery in the summer and her snowy white caps in the winter. She is a delight to the eye. All who tread upon her paths are blessed with her energies of unconditional love, although we elements are tiny to the eye and separate. Altogether, we are monumental. Your mountain home. You are all being drawn back to the mountain home now, and soon a greater conclave of light will form at our base and will ignite a spirit of Shasta into the glory that she is. We wait patiently in our homes inside for all to unfold and for you, our family, to return. All is in place for our imminent return into the mountain. I am Adam. So there, I read this book.